All right, are we on the clock? Have we punched our time cards?
Yeah, you got...
Is that a thing people do? I'm not allowed to work with humans, so I've never had to do a time card.
You've got 8 minutes to get the pick in, or else the Baltimore Ravens can jump above you and make their pick. A real life thing that happened.
That's pretty cool. I know you're a big draft day guy.
And
Wouldn't you have been excited?
And so are you now.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. 2, I enjoyed knowing how much my dad would enjoy it. I'm like, this is the most my dad movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have been sweet if someone had paid us $25 to watch Draft Day?
I
paid you $25 to watch Draft Day for the 14th time?
Yeah. Legitimately, I watch it 3 times a year, and I've only watched it once this year, so... And that was with you.
You're behind.
Yeah, but I can get 2 in November.
Same day?
Or like back-to-back days, or...
Make a weekend
out of it.
Sure.
And, like, do my entire weekend around fitting in 2 viewings of Draft Day. And 1 viewing of Jurassic Park. Like I have. That's sandwiched in the middle.
Because the rules are the rules.
The rules are the rules. I like what I like, and I gotta watch them.
So what is this? I guess it's the worst year of our lives. Emergency all request episode.
All request. Yeah,
we're playing the hits.
This is the noon hour all request lives. Yep. From noon till 1 p.m. we play what the fans want.
Yeah, give us a call.
Then we go back to what we want.
591 rock, 591 roll.
Oh, there'll be some rock and or roll conversation later.
True. So I guess we should say thank you, because
big thank you.
A good chunk of people sent in some money and picked some movies. How many movies were picked, you ask? Well, guess what? Now I'm going to tell you the number, and here it is. My favorite thing in the world is when you're asked a question and you find a way to restate the question 7 times before answering it. It's the best. What did I do? Oh, what did I do? Well, what I did was...
You know, my opponent, he wouldn't even know the answer to that. He would just ramble on incoherently until he ran out of time and then... That's the turd sandwich giant
Your
douche.
time is up. Yeah. 20 movies.
20 movies. I like that when we proposed this to each other, that we were like, okay, if we get 10, we're happy.
10's great.
We're like, and then we were like,
we were going to cap it at 10.
We're like, what's the money value? And like, should we just say the first 10? But then we were like, no, because
I mean, if we get more, great.
Yeah, like if we say only 10, that's really like handicapping ourselves.
What if we say only fans?
More than you're already handicapped.
A little more.
And we would be leaving money on the table.
Never do that.
So we decided, like...
Also, you never count your money when you're sitting at the table.
That's true. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Because if you don't, you have to get crazy plastic surgery on your face and look like an old lesbian with a beard.
Yep. Yep. Worst look. Kenny Rogers or Barry Manilow?
Ooh, Barry's kind of a ghoul.
So, he looks like a ghoul. Like, it almost looks like he has no jaw or chin left.
Yeah.
That it's just been
they've shaved too much
until
off.
It's just teeth.
Yeah. Yeah. He starts at his upper teeth.
Yes. It's just teeth and then a skin flap around the bottom.
Yeah, they Roger Eberted him.
Oh, poor Roger. Was it you and...
Probably.
Yeah, it was you and I, Sex, that made... Were we talking about how pathetic it was when Ebert died and it was just... you instead of 2 people giving thumbs up, it was just like Roper giving 2 thumbs
both?
up.
Yeah.
So he has to like do both.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I give this movie a 2 thumbs up.
Pack it in, Roper.
You look stupid.
It's over.
You look like
it's
an idiot.
It's fucking over.
Yeah.
I also love that, like, even today, like, there are like star ratings and whatnot from RogerEbert.com.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I guess that's the site you write for, but that's weird.
That is weird.
It's not Roger Ebert.
Yeah,
it's Jim.
It's the same thing as like before. Weren't there people writing reviews for like Leonard Maltin?
Yeah, yeah. I
Like
think
sometimes,
so.
like he wouldn't see everything that wasn't like a bigger movie.
He would outsource.
So he would outsource to like
India.
interns and shit.
Yeah.
Indian interns.
Yeah, that's what that famous NBC show Outsourced was about.
Yeah.
Was about Pete Holmes and a bunch of Indians?
No, it wasn't Pete
It wasn't
Holmes.
Pete Holmes.
It was
someone and a bunch of Indians just reviewing movies for Leonard Maltin.
Mike Birbiglia. I don't think
No,
it was Birbiglia.
definitely wasn't.
Uh,
It wasn't Pete. I don't know.
I don't even know
why
if
I
it was
thought
somebody
Pete
that
Holmes.
we know. It was like one of those classic television actors of the aughts that were in like 10 failed pilots or one season shows.
Maybe the guy who's on Superstore or something.
Could I tell you that the guy's name is Ben, no relation to Rappaport?
Really? No relation?
I don't know.
I bet it is.
He doesn't look like a ginger.
He doesn't look like a wigger.
He also doesn't look like a wigger who's got an N pass.
He doesn't look like a guy who got to 1992 and then said, "This forever."
He's also Jewish.
So is Rappaport.
So he's
Classic Italian Jewish wigger.
Oh, if I could tell you, if I said, Scott, name me a bunch of
Ben Rappaport credits?
or just shows that were on for too many seasons that no one watched, and he's in 8 of the 30 shows you would name.
Yeah.
Younger, Blind
course.
Spot, God Friended Me,
Blind Spot was on for a long time. Might actually still be on.
For the People.
Don't know. I remember God Friended Me.
I mean, he's on The Good Wife.
God Friended Me was a Jeopardy answer that has stuck with me for some reason.
Elementary.
Oh, yeah. Was that Lucy Liu as Sherlock Holmes?
Correct. Actually, I don't fucking care. Sure.
Maybe Lucy Liu as Watson. Either way,
Lucy Liu is Watson.
not
and,
into it.
Johnny Lee Miller was Sherlock Holmes.
Was he a Power Ranger? No,
nope.
that was Jason Scott Lee.
He was, train spotting.
Okay.
And also Dexter. He was the
Oh,
motivational speaker. No.
The motivational speaker.
No, that was the other one. That was Sean Patrick Flannery, I believe, was
Yes.
the motivational speaker.
The other Boondock Saint.
Yeah, but they're both in it. They both were villains in a season. He was the one that sexually...
Sean Patrick Flannery and Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris was...
We're the Boondock Saints.
I would watch that fucking movie. No, I believe that he was he the one that sexually assaulted Lumen?
Drew, it's...
in the worst season?
It's canon that we don't talk about Lumen anymore on this show.
Imagine following up the best season
With Lumen.
that you've ever had with the worst season you could possibly make.
Yeah.
Hey, let's have a whining, annoying, useless woman
That we found in a fucking barrel.
that has the facial appeal of a donkey
And the voice appeal of Michael Clark Duncan.
and like concave tits
Hey Dexter, it's me, Lumen.
and a dumpy ass. And how has anyone ever had sex with her?
I can't prove they have. I guess her husband Ryan has.
Ryan Lumen?
Ryan Stiles.
Yeah, I guess.
Of
Yes,
of Whose Line fame.
outsourced the TV series.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if it says nothing, so I guess he's just another Rappaport.
All right.
Because Rappaport's New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's from Texas. I guess it's
No, I guess
just
Yeah, Rappaport is
just-
very New York. Rappaport is the most New York. He's everything from New York.
Rappaport is the most common Jewish New York name. So
Yeah.
yeah, all how many Rappaports can you think of? I got 10, 12, maybe
Easy.
14.
Yeah.
But anyways, outsourced.
How did we get here?
Outsourced is based on a very good movie, though. The movie is quite
Slumdog Millionaire.
quite entertaining. No, it's also called Outsourced.
Oh.
2006, maybe.
Oh, that's right. I forgot it was a previous
Yeah, the movie's pretty good. Pretty decent.
intellectual property.
Yeah. We were talking about.
I think I consider you my intellectual property.
As opposed to.
And no one can have you.
As opposed to me.
Unless they pay, then they can have you.
Thinking of you as my concubine.
Yes.
Yeah, I put babies in you and that's it. That's the only reason we're together.
It's for procreation and nothing else.
And then if you keep giving me female offspring...
You're going to keep filling their mouths with ashes and drowning them.
Yeah, and then I'm going to have you beheaded. No, we were talking
about... better breeder.
We were talking about Indian interns and writing articles for Leonard Maltin when it's not actually Leonard Maltin or Roger Ebert, who should lay off the fatty foods.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that caused him to get jaw and mouth cancer.
Maybe not specifically, but I feel like a healthier lifestyle overall might have prolonged his life.
Maybe he was eating too much pussy.
Could have been. It could have been a Michael Douglas situation.
Yeah, pussy. Gay actor Michael Douglas too much pussy. You know what? Here's the thing. Even if I was a gay man, which I'm not saying I am, I'm not saying I'm not.
I still wouldn't eat pussy.
And I was married to Catherine Zeta-Jones, I would eat her pussy.
Yes.
Even as a gay man?
Right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If only for the story.
Yeah, and just the fact that she's, like, gorgeous.
Yeah, and Greek, so I bet it tastes like feta cheese.
Ooh, I don't like feta.
I don't like feta either.
It tastes like a gyro.
Olives.
Olives. You know what? Now that you're bringing this up, I don't think I like Greek food.
Drew, Greek food, worst food.
Like they cook a good lamb.
Hot take, worst ethnic food.
They cook a good lamb and they cook good lemon potato. But outside of that,
first of all, they have like
how much zucchini, cucumber.
They have like 3 ingredients. They have less ingredients than Mexican food, which I thought was impossible. They've got feta, olives, and some sort of low-grade meat. That's it. The end.
That is true.
And everything is swimming in oil. You get potatoes and rice with your food because carbs.
Yeah, you got to fill yourself up with as many carbs as you can.
You got a carbo load for all the gay sex.
For all the boy fucking. That's what I was going to say. For all the little boy fucking, you got to
load yourself up. Oh. I mean, there's logic behind all of it. I just don't care for it. But yeah, legit one of my least favorite ethnic foods, Greek.
Yeah. I think all you do is just like what? You take...
you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life.
Mm-hmm.
Have I derailed you yet?
No. All you do is you just like deep fry octopus and squid.
Yep.
And then just load it with as much tzatziki sauce as you can to cover up the fact that it tastes like nothing.
They really hang their hat a lot on tzatziki.
Yeah. One sauce and dip
One
for
sauce
everything,
forever.
And it goes on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite ethnic food?
Italian, Indian, Mexican, Japanese, but not sushi.
Dirty knees?
Look at these. Chinese, second worst ethnic food.
Yeah, but I wonder if there's anything...
You know how you can tell?
Because white people can make it?
Partly. You're on the right track.
And Indian people can make it.
Also on the right track. But the reason is because there's no difference between cheap, low-end Chinese food and high-end Chinese food.
Have you had shark fin soup?
Yes, and as we've described on the podcast, it's worse than Campbell's chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, it's true. And yeah, especially any
this part I'm stealing from Ari Shafir, it's dirt food.
It is dirt food because it's cheap.
It's dirt. Yeah, it's dirt food. It's dirt food for dirt people.
You know it's bad when white people can make it just as good as Chinese people.
Yeah. And
because white people make, like, it was like explaining to someone, oh, like, what's Canadian food? You're like, I don't know, like
nothing. We don't have culture.
Poorly made pasta and on par Chinese food and chips. Sashimi. Yeah, I mean, there's no Canadian food. There isn't Canadian food.
Poutine. The end.
But poutine's Montreal, like Quebec.
Yeah.
Like maple syrup and poutine are Quebec. What's an Alberta dish, Scott?
Beef.
But like it's just beef. It's not it's a dish.
Which I don't believe Alberta invented.
No, and it's not a specific beef dish.
No, it's beef.
It's just beef.
It's a plate of beef.
Like what's a British Columbia dish? Salmon?
Yeah.
But just salmon. It's
Just
not
salmon.
like, salmon l'orange. Like, it's... So yeah, it's a real mishmash of just like garbage food that you can get from anywhere.
Yeah.
But I would say my favorite's probably like Mexican or Latin food is my favorite.
Yeah.
We had tapas the other day. Mm-hmm. Very delicious.
I enjoy a good tapas.
There's a good tapas place on Denman that
I went to a lovely one in Toronto. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had nice paella.
Paella. I love tacos, real tacos, not white people tacos.
Real ass tacos.
Yeah. Although that being said, Doritos Locos Tacos from Taco Bell fucking rule.
I mean, they hit the spot.
I do miss them.
Yeah.
Or what was the ones? Wasn't there? Or maybe I guess that's not considered a taco. What was the one what's the one that's the soft shell over the hard shell? A gordita?
Cheese gordita crunch, baby.
Those ones are good.
A CGC.
Not technically a taco.
No.
It's borderline.
Yeah.
It's borderline.
It's run for the borderline.
It's jump the borderline.
It's border wall line.
Yeah.
It's the line in front of the border
all
wall.
9 feet of the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With slats in it.
Yeah. Or no, it's just not even finished. It's halfway across the road.
Walk another half mile.
Yeah. All it means is that it's one way traffic.
Did Biden promise to finish the wall?
I don't think so. Did he?
I feel like he should have.
No.
How do you get elected?
He's too busy pulling everyone out of
I thought we
Afghanistan.
only voted on the wall platform these days.
Maybe. Do you want to talk a little Canadian politics?
Love to.
And how our handsome prime minister literally is going to get himself voted out of office by rushing an election when he's done a terrible job.
I do question the logic in it.
What an idiot.
It's a real, I almost respect the balls of it. He's just been, steadily going down, and he's like, election time.
You know what? We need a minority government, so I'm going to rush an election. Oh my God, I lost so many votes.
Whoops.
Oopsie. Guess I'm not prime minister anymore, and now we get to have conservatives again.
Sweet.
I mean, at least the conservatives follow through on their goals.
Yeah, it's just often the goals are questionable.
You can't fault them.
They are more effective, though.
You can't fault them for saying we don't want abortions and then no more abortions.
I was gonna say, made a promise, kept it.
Yeah. Whereas what's Trudeau promised? I'm gonna grow
election reform.
I'm gonna grow
that went well.
I'm gonna grow a patchy beard, and everyone's gonna think I'm more attractive. And then
so he's batting 500. So he promised election reform. No, patchy beard. Yes.
Patchy beard. Yes.
So far, not bad.
He's gonna grow longer, more luscious hair. And he's gonna stop doing brown face.
Mostly.
In public.
Yeah.
At home, he's got a cabinet drawer full of shoe polish.
I heard in the winter he still does it on his hands, but wears gloves. So he knows.
Yeah.
But no one can get mad at him.
It's a real wearing women's underwear situation.
Yes, it's for you.
It's for you.
Yes.
Not for everyone else.
Exactly.
Yeah, what a stupid thing to do. You're already losing support.
Yeah.
And then you're like, hey, you know how I'll get more support? Having an election.
Snap election.
Yeah. There's so many parts of the northern part of the middle that barely voted.
North Central, as we call it.
The no central, yeah. That they barely voted not conservative.
Yeah.
And now all those people are mad.
They're all going to vote conservative.
That they've had to wear masks, get vaccines, whatever.
Stop saying the N-word.
All of those people are going to vote conservative.
Yeah.
All of them. So any swing liberals, they're going to lose all of that. And then they're going to
How about liberal swingers?
So they swing, but there's no gay stuff?
No, they're liberal. There's definitely gay stuff.
But that's the thing is they're called the liberals. They're not the liberals.
They're center.
They're the central.
Yeah.
Yeah.
South Central.
They're the Kansas of our political system. They're right in the middle and they don't do shit.
Accurate, actually. Yeah, a vote for liberal is a vote against conservative. That's how liberals
Yeah, except for the fact that
you either
the NDP and the conservatives and the Bloc are all more willing to work together
Yeah.
than work with the liberals.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the liberals are the far right and the
weird,
conservatives are the middle. But it's, although conservatives here are not the same as conservatives in the U.S.
Yeah, like literally...
Republicans and conservative Canadian are not the same.
Well, in terms of party stances... Our conservative party is further left than the Democratic Party in the United States.
Yes. Yeah, especially if you look
like
at...
our furthest right is still lefter than your furthest left.
Yeah. And then our furthest
left... our conservatives fully acknowledge climate change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our furthest left
and
are...
universal health
are
care.
literal hippies that live in the dirt.
Yeah.
Like, it's so far left.
We have a different spectrum
that they don't even have a society.
Yeah.
They live in the forests. They don't own shoes. They don't have bank accounts.
Yeah, it's like the equivalent would be if the Democrats in the United States lived in a commune.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a completely different system.
Yeah. And didn't believe in money.
Yeah.
They only bartered.
Yeah. I can't believe, like, what a dumb fucking move. What an idiot.
We'll see how this plays out.
It's gonna play out terribly. I can't wait to have another... How long was Harper in charge? 12 years?
A very long time.
I can't wait to have another conservative leader for the majority of my adult life.
Yeah, and then maybe people can get mad at the conservatives again and then vandalize all the stop signs by putting Harper under the word stop. Remember that?
I forgot about that.
Every stop sign said stop Harper.
I forgot about that.
I guess technically we eventually stopped him after he was prime minister for the better part of 2 decades.
And then just sort of decided he didn't want to be... Like, it wasn't even necessarily like... Oh, I gotta run and keep the party going. He was kind of like, well, I'm gonna lose. I'm just gonna step out.
I've led this country for a very long time, and I'm tired.
I'm going on a sabbatical.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the guy that they got to replace him said a bunch of really bad things. And unlike the U.S., they were like, oh, you can't be in the party anymore. Yeah. So, I don't know. Bad decision. You're gonna cost this country... I hope you're not living in Canada and trans, gay, or poor. Yeah. Unless you live in Vancouver, then you're fine. But if you live anywhere else,
then go nuts.
You're gonna be hurting for a squirtin'. A squirtin' of hetero rich people.
My favorite
hetero
kind of
cis rich people, but
yes.
Anywho, I don't even know how we got on so many tangents. Is it because we both have ADHD?
What?
Who's talking?
I was looking at something shiny.
Oh, I was distracted by the climbing rate of Bitcoin. I don't know.
I was looking at my portfolio.
I was too busy searching King of the Hill porn.
Again.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we got
20 movies.
20 goddamn movies.
That seems like a lot to talk about today. So...
we're going to do it!
We're not!
Oh.
We're going to do...
nice to know that before we started recording. But...
once again, something that could have been brought to my attention yesterday! We're going to split them into 2 shots of 10. Yeah. One now and one
8 months.
Right after now.
One in 8 months.
Yeah, one in Q4 2022. That's the earliest we could schedule it.
Yes.
So anyone who requested multiples, I think we split yours over the 2, and most people who did one, I think maybe besides one, they're getting theirs today, so we could get as much different people representation as possible.
It also gives you something to look forward to if you did more than one.
Exactly.
Because you go, oh, they talked about one of mine, now I have to tune in to hear the other one.
So this one...
as if you weren't going to tune in anyways.
So this one's going out September 2nd, by my count. So I think the next one... I think it'll be 4 weeks. But it depends how we schedule things. It will be no more than 4 weeks. It'll be September 30th at the latest. And possibly sooner. So it'll be no later than 4 weeks from today. Maybe 3 weeks, depending on how we do it, because after today, we're down to one show a week and not two.
That will be fucking delightful.
Because the movie side of this season will be over, and then we'll have just I think 3 wrestling ones left. We'll have 3 Monday wrestling ones left and no Thursday movie ones. So yeah, so we'll do that on a Thursday in there somewhere, probably after the last wrestling one. So yeah, so no more than 4 weeks. So if you don't, if your name doesn't get read today, that's when it's coming. But when
don't be sad.
At the end of the show, I will say the next batch of 10 that we'll be doing. So if you don't hear yours there, then contact me, or hear me out. Don't. Those are your options.
You could message me about it, or you could shut the fuck up.
It's a classic Ripley's Believe It or Not, or Believe It.
Fact or fiction?
Or fact.
Fact. It's fact. That's fact. Fact. It's fact.
So today we'll be doing, in no particular order, but exactly this order, Gross Point Blank, Miro's Wedding, Strictly Ballroom, Society, Feel a Day, Hell Comes to Frogtown, Brain Dead / Dead Alive, Taro the Dragon Boy, Dog Day Afternoon, and Gumby, the motion picture. And then I'll tell you the other 10 at the end of the show. So yeah, so I guess we got 10 movies to talk about, so we should probably start talking about them.
Quite the eclectic mix of things.
It's very interesting. So any I don't know if we want to talk about this at the beginning or the end. Any general thoughts on the movie picks themselves, or do we want to do that after we talk about them?
No, we can do it now.
All right.
There definitely, for me, this was quite the experience.
Yeah.
There was definitely a few that I was excited or glad that were picked.
Yep.
There were some that I had never heard of. And there are some that I wish I had never seen. How about you?
Similar. Definitely varying experiences watching them. A couple I had seen before and rewatched. And anything I rewatched I hadn't seen in quite some time. So it was good to see them anyway. And to see how they held up over time, for me at least. Some other interesting ones I wasn't that familiar with. And then, yeah, some I could do without. It's I'm interested in people's reasoning for picking some of them. I know some are just movies that people like, that they want us to see, which is reasonable. A couple clearly like, this movie's insane and you guys should see it. And then I don't know. I want to know why you picked Gumby the movie.
Yeah, or there's one neck for the next episode that's the same idea.
Yeah. I'm real interested.
I think there was an opportunity to pick some more insane or some more awful movies than what was picked.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot on the table.
Yeah,
and I will say, I said it off air, I am disappointed after, I don't know if it was last week or 10 days ago or whatever, that nobody sprung last minute for us to watch Beef after we got so excited about it. So we may just have to watch it on our own.
We are going to have to watch Beef on our own. Yeah, it was... There are lots of, like, even just off the top of my head, there are movies that I was like thinking that would, if this was me doing it, if I was nominating movies, there are horrific movies or really awful movies that I could have picked. I had hypothesized to Scott that after the second episode, we need to donate $25 to ourselves to make you people, and you know what I mean by you people.
You people. What do you mean you people?
Watch
what do you
movies. We suggest them. You watch them.
You watch them. I like that. So I'm going to send you $25.
And I'm going to not send you $25.
And you...
I'm going to make you pick all of them.
Wait a minute.
I know how this works. Capitalism. Except for this.
It's one of Drew's classic schemes.
You've been prompted.
So yeah, we're going to send each other $25 and then you guys have to watch movies.
You have to watch movies. That being said, the first one to start off this list...
We're starting off with 1997's Gross Point Blank, recommended by Anonymous.
Oh.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. I'm going to whisper a secret. Just do all hearsay.
What's your secret?
No, it's anonymous. It's the secret. I'm whispering you that
I thought you were going to tell us a secret. I was very excited.
No.
Tell us a secret. Tell us a secret now anyway. A good one. A shot a woman.
I've pooped myself a lot older than most people
might
should
think.
So Gross Point Blank is on the side of this that I'm very glad it was picked.
Yes.
Because I hadn't seen it probably since 2001.
One, I haven't seen it in a long time. Two, I have seen it a lot of times.
I think I'd only seen it the one time.
This was a def rewatcher for me.
Yeah.
This was a common blockbuster rental.
Very good.
Late 1990s.
Yeah, I think I saw it 2001 or 2, and that's the only time I'd seen it. But when we got the initial list, it was the first one to watch.
Sweet.
I was like, I'm going to rewatch this movie right away because I know I like it.
Yeah.
And I was not disappointed.
You are not wrong. You do like it, and I like it.
Yeah, it holds up really well.
Yeah.
Like really, really well. Like it's not full of bad jokes or like things that don't.
There's not much over the top humor. All the humor is pretty good.
Yeah. It lasts. It's like just as relevant now. Like the jokes, the references.
Yeah, it's really not
the
dated.
situation. It's not dated at all. Like,
yeah.
It didn't feel like a 97. It felt like a 2007.
Yeah, it didn't feel like 25 years old.
Yeah.
I feel 25 years old.
Yeah, but you're not going to be 25 for another 8 years. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
I actually should have asked you because we were doing this first. I need one stat boy thing from you. But look, don't make that face.
Can I do it on my phone?
I'd like to see it too, actually.
Oh.
But the Gross Point Blank soundtrack on Wikipedia, because it's so good. I do recall they put out the soundtrack, and then there was still so much awesome music they used. They put out like volume 2 of the soundtrack 6 months later.
Really?
Yes.
Oh yeah, here you go.
I owned both.
More music from the film.
Yeah.
So you got, oh man, Violent Femmes, Blister in the Sun.
Like Blister in the Sun is the song like you associate with the movie because it gets a reprise, I think.
Yeah. The Clash. You got Bowie. And
The Clash and Joe Strummer from The Clash did the score for the movie, I believe.
Interesting.
Yeah. So someone on the movie was definitely a Clash fan and got a good get with them Clash boys.
You got Guns N' Roses. You got a personal favorite of myself, Faith No More.
It's We Care a Lot.
We Care a Lot. Yeah. You got an additional Clash song. You got Pete Townsend.
A Pete Townsend song I really like, but the mix used in this movie sucks.
Bad.
I was like, because it was playing at the dance at the reunion, and I'm like, because I heard it initially, and I'm like, Let My Love Open the Door by Pete Townsend, sweet, and I'm like, what is this fucking instrumentation on this song? It sucks, but still a good song, and then some. Okay, I love that the soundtrack has 2 different songs by 2 different bands shit talking a guy named Rudy.
Yeah.
It's got Rudy Can't Fail by The Clash and A Message to Rudy by what reggae band? The Specials.
The Specials.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like the second half of the album has like the Pixies.
Cities in Dust by Susie and the Banshees is an awesome song. Killing Moon, Echo and the Bunnymen, awesome song. Monkey Gone to Heaven, Pixies, awesome song.
Take on Me,
Let It Wit by Daz Band, good.
Daz Band, yeah.
Best song on the soundtrack, Go.
Best song on the soundtrack?
Best song on the soundtrack.
Either
one.
We Care a Lot. Faith No More, of course.
I think I would have to go Under Pressure, Bowie and Queen. I really love that song. It's an obvious pick.
Coward.
Second is Cities and Dust by Susie and the Banshees. Or Take on Me.
Coward.
Take on Me always a classic. Look, Under Pressure is great. It's
pick
almost as good as Ice Ice Baby.
I'm going to pick the most mainstream song on the album and say that's my favorite song.
I'm just being honest.
Okay.
I love the song a lot.
I like that there's also a soundtrack omissions section.
Because they still didn't fit everything in 2 albums. And it's got major songs on it. It's got
Motorhead,
Ace of Spades, 99
The Cure, In Between Days.
Cure, yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
The Walk Like an Egyptian.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And then songs in the trailer but not in the film. It's crazy. Modern Love by David Bowie, Friend or Foe by Adam Ant, and I Got You Babe by UB40.
The most famous version of I Got You Babe by UB40 and Chrissy Hind.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, but goddamn, this soundtrack, such a banger. There are no better soundtracks than 90s movies about the 80s.
Yeah.
Because you got Grosse Pointe Blank.
Yeah.
Romeo and Michelle's High School Reunion.
Yeah.
Awesome soundtrack.
Yeah.
The Wedding Singer. Also a double album, I believe. Same as this one.
Uh-huh.
Those are the 3.
That movie does have a lot of songs in it.
So much.
It's
got John Lovitz doing Ladies' Night.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies' Night.
Apparently, to Joan Cusack, the 2008 film War, Inc. is an informal sequel to Grosse Pointe Blank.
But just to Joan Cusack?
According to her. But did she work on it or something? Because John Cusack wrote it.
Oh, okay.
And so I guess she said...
said
starring,
Seashells by the Seashore.
Starring Hilary Duff.
Callback.
Somebody must like this
podcast
movie a lot.
Callback.
But yeah, so...
Call the Supreme Court.
What a great soundtrack.
So fucking good.
So, did you make some... I wrote notes for some.
I got a couple things.
I'm sure we wrote notes for most things.
I loved both the Cusack and Cusack-Arkin dynamics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cusack-Arkin...
I like brother-sister not playing brother-sister.
Yeah.
Playing employer-secretary.
Not only that, but their other sister was also in it.
Was Anne in it?
Anne was in it.
What did Anne do?
She was one of the...
Did Anne play Jeremy Piven?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Anne was one of the, drunk girls at the reunion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I like that
Have
dynamic.
I professed my undying love for Joan Cusack?
Yes.
Okay.
But you may again if you wish.
I love her so much.
She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really love her.
Not like Anne Cusack's done a lot, but I like all of the Cusack children.
Oh, they're all good. Yeah.
They're all very good.
Has John gone kind of crazy? Is that a thing?
A little bit.
Yeah.
And now he just does bad straight to...
Now he's
demand...
one tier lower Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just does action-y movies where he just acts like a lunatic.
Yeah.
I think 2012 was sort of... The movie 2012 was sort of his I'm gonna take some... Oh,
there we go.
Or have you ever seen The Raven? Where he plays Edgar Allan Poe.
Heard of it, haven't seen it.
He's not Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, cool.
He's just John
He's John Cusack.
But his name and he's playing Edgar Allan Poe.
But no mustache.
No mustache, doesn't speak like him, has no manners.
Cool.
And it's a murder mystery.
All right.
Involving him.
Did the Raven do it?
Raven himself has cameo. He's in an insane asylum.
That's funny.
No,
okay.
That was a reference. That was a reference, 2015 Impact.
And I like him threatening his therapist. Subtly threatening his therapist. Because he legitimately wants therapy.
Yeah.
But he's told his therapist he's a hitman.
Yeah.
And that makes his therapist uncomfortable because therapists are supposed to report crimes.
Yeah. Should we at least give a plot description of these movies?
There will be spoilers here. Deal with it, pussies. I think is the our stock answer for that. So, Yeah, so John Cusack is a professional hitman who is invited to his 10-year high school reunion, doesn't want to go. His assistant secretary, organizer, Joan Cusack, says he should go. And then separately, Dan Aykroyd, another hitman, is putting together a hitman's union that he wants John to...
Desperately wants John
join.
In because
and
John is like his... like rival. Like he's the Larry Bird to Dan Aykroyd's Magic Johnson.
Yes.
Except for neither of them got AIDS from having sex with only women.
And they both jump when they shoot three-pointers.
Yes.
And Cusack doesn't want to because he's a lone wolf who plays by his own rules.
Yeah, a lone wolf, but he's also just dealing with a lot of, like, undiagnosed mental health
He's got problems. He's got some shit going on. And, and the reason he initially doesn't want to go back to his high school reunion is that he ditched his date, Minnie Driver, on prom night to immediately join the army.
Yeah.
And then upon psychological testing, they found he had some flexible morality, and the CIA recruited him as an assassin, and then he went private after that.
They got into the private sector.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's quickly mention Minnie Driver.
So hot.
What a fucking
This is
babe.
Absolute top tier peak Minnie Driver.
Holy shit, was she hot in this movie. And as I stated, I think to you off air like a week ago, adorkable. And what the fuck happened?
I don't know.
Like, in 1997, we look? She did Good Will Hunting.
Yep.
She did Grosse Point Blank.
Yep.
And something else we looked up.
Yep.
And then has done fucking nothing.
Not a lot.
Just, like, random
some
TV and some movies nobody saw.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck happened?
I think her face kept getting wider. And they couldn't fit her on the screen anymore.
That is true.
Yep.
Even in IMAX.
What if she could only do IMAX
movies? Oh man, yeah. She really dropped off the face of the earth, but what a babe. Yeah. Like, holy shit, what a babe.
Absolutely.
Then you also previously had mentioned Mr. Jeremy Piven.
Balding Jeremy Piven.
Yeah, pre-plugs.
It's always like in the even because like early 90s in like Seinfeld and PCU.
Yeah.
He looks well into his 40s because of his hair.
Yeah.
And he's not.
No. And
then on Entourage, like 15 years later, he looks like a young man.
Yeah.
With his beautiful plugs.
Remember when he called SummerSlam Summerfest? And then he did that bad crossbody, and then they murdered Ken Jeong?
Yep.
Yeah, good times. Is he the most unlikable human being?
He's a piece of shit.
Like, everything about him just screams like human piece of garbage.
Yeah, like I think he just because he got Me Too'd.
Yeah, he got Me Too'd big time.
But I don't know if he actually did anything or if people just found him unlikable.
It could be one, could be the other.
While we're canceling people, how about Jeremy Piven?
Yeah, like, hey, we already nailed this guy. Who's left? I don't know. I kind of don't like Jeremy Piven. All right, fuck him. Let's get him.
Fuck him.
But I feel like he deserved what he got.
Yeah.
Some other highlights of this was excellent white guy karate.
Yes.
There was some which will also come up later. Excellent.
So the guys doing the white guy karate were Cusack and the other assassin hunting him.
Yeah.
Who there were two separate things going on. That my biggest quarrel with the movie is that there's one plot line that doesn't need to exist, and it's this one. Because one, Dan Aykroyd, who's mad. Okay, and the one plot thing we didn't mention is that Cusack also has a hit to do in Detroit where his reunion is. So it's business and pleasure he's there for. So Dan Aykroyd, who is mad at John Cusack, calls the FBI on him. Yeah. Or the NSA. I think it's the NSA.
Yeah, it is NSA.
He calls the NSA on him. So there's two NSA agents watching him.
One of them, Hank Azaria.
The other, some black guy. He's not that famous.
The guy from New Girl, who's also on TV commercials.
I don't think.
Everything comes full circle to New Girl. If he's on New Girl, you have to kiss my butthole.
So there's the two NSA guys on him, but then there's
lips.
There's also why would you think this guy who's kind of old already in a 1997 movie is someone from New Girl?
Because everything comes full circle to New Girl.
No.
New Girl was on for 38 seasons. And you've seen none of it.
That's true.
You're right. He's absolutely a fucking nobody.
Yeah, he's nothing. Like, I don't even recognize his name.
It does come full circle to God Friended Me, though.
Oh.
He's also in that.
Excellent. At least we got a sitcom that nobody watched out of it.
And Blind Spot. He's
one of those.
He's with the other Rappaport.
This guy
in Elementary. Oh my God, this guy's in everything.
This guy and Ben Rappaport. I like how some shows just like they must be run as a charity almost. Just exist to give people you've never heard of constant work.
Yeah. Are you a vaguely working actor?
Are you no one
in LA?
Are you no one but would like 47 IMDb credits?
Yeah, would you
call
like
us?
Would you like to appear on one episode of every show that films? Yes, I would actually. Yeah. Okay, you're part of that crew.
Yeah. So Aykroyd's called the NSA on him, but then also there's another hitman hunting him who at first you think Aykroyd also sent on him, but it's completely unrelated to Dan Aykroyd.
Another guy.
Because from an old job, a dog accidentally got killed on one of Cusack's hits, and the guy who hired the hit was mad about his dog getting killed, so he's sent this guy. By the way, this guy's a weird fucking looker.
Yeah.
He's got a fish face.
He's got a fish face.
Yeah. And also I don't remember his real name, but his character's name is Felix La Poubelle.
La Poubelle.
Which I believe means the garbage can in French.
I don't know. You're talking to the wrong man. I only know Mandarin and Cantonese, and that's it.
I only know fake Mandarin and Cantonese.
Benny Urquids.
Yeah.
Whoa. What?
Oh, he's the star of New Girl. What do you know?
No, it says that his mother was a professional wrestler.
Interesting.
But I couldn't tell you her fucking name.
Well, she'd be old. She'd be like a 50s wrestler.
Is he fucking dead?
Is he dead?
He's not even an actor. He's a stuntman.
Okay.
Like, he just does
So he
stunts.
knows white guy karate.
And the reason he was in the movie is because he was the stunt guy.
Gotcha.
And so they were like, well, you're already practicing the stunts with him. You might as well just do the stunts.
I'm pretty sure he's only in there so they have like one good, questionably, fight scene. Because you can't have, like, you're not going to have Cusack and Aykroyd doing white guy karate.
No, probably not.
That's not going to work. But it was just so weird that Cusack had people from two entirely different places coming after him. Like, one of them was not necessary.
Yeah, it was really like...
it was confusing.
Sandwiched in there.
Like, it muddied the waters for no reason.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. Are you trying to find this guy's wrestler mom?
Yeah. He's his sister was a pioneer in kickboxing for women.
This is a fighty family.
Yeah, he was like
Was he fighting with his family?
He was. You know what? This is who it's Paige's dad. No, like he was like an original like Muay Thai in the United States guy.
Sick.
And then he was like a black belt at 14. And then his sibling,
real Doogie Howser of karate.
All of his siblings were black belts. His sister was pioneering kickboxing, and his other brother was a Budo Jiu-Jitsu. I don't know what that is. But,
don't know. Some kind of jiu-jitsu.
It doesn't say. It just says his mom was a wrestler and his dad was a boxer, and he's Spanish, Mexican, and Blackfoot Indian.
He did look of questionable ethnicity. I couldn't place him.
You keep talking,
and I probably wouldn't have landed on Latino/native.
What a combo!
Quite.
You keep talking. I'm gonna look up to his mom.
You're not gonna find it.
Maybe not.
It's like and here's the thing: when you do, it's not gonna mean anything.
Because we're not gonna know women's wrestlers from the 50s.
We're not.
What if his mom is?
He's the fabulous Moolah.
What if he's the hand?
Then that's interesting, but I can almost guarantee you it won't be the case.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
But, like that one of the top searches is net worth. What do you think his net worth is? $150?
Benny is at least 1,000.
I mean, he's been in Jackie Chan movies.
I'm going to say he's a 10,000-aire. He's got at least $10,000 to his name.
Yeah, probably. So continue.
What are you still looking up?
I don't know. I was trying to see
Just
if I could
give
literally
up.
find
It
anything.
doesn't matter. You're just going to find Sharon Urquid, and that's going to be the end. It doesn't matter.
But it matters. It matters to the people, Scott.
No.
It matters to the people. The people that listen to this podcast because they're such huge wrestling fans, they care. They really need to know.
The only other note I have was that Minnie Driver's dad rocks.
Yeah.
Because like when Cusack, I was gonna say meets him for the first time, but I guess sees him again for the first time in 10 years. He's just like straight up honest. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a hitman now. I kill people for money." And her dad's like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And then just like makes himself a drink.
Her dad was Dharma's dad from Dharma and Greg.
Okay, yeah.
No,
and
Greg's dad from Dharma.
Greg's dad. He looks like a Greg dad, and quite a handsome actor in his day.
Yeah,
he's one of those handsome '60s guys.
He's got like a nice chiseled jaw and a butt chin.
Yeah,
which is very like '60s.
Kirk
attractive.
Douglas type.
Yeah. Father of noted gay actor.
Father of gay actor Michael Douglas.
I didn't write any other notes. I like that was kind of it.
That's everything I got for that.
But it was really enjoyable.
I like how we killed Dan Aykroyd at the end with a fucking cathode ray television.
yeah. That was rad.
That's pretty good.
That was rad. I also was really upset that Hank Azaria ate it, but
pretty much like everyone who was remotely bad, because the NSA guys weren't necessarily bad. They were just doing their fucking job trying to catch hitmen.
Yeah, but
they fucking got murdered.
Sometimes you got to kill the good guys.
Absolutely.
I wish more good guys would get killed. I want the bad guys to win.
But definitely fun movie.
Very fun. Very glad I rewatched it.
Yeah, good pick.
It was a good nostalgia trip for me, and also, like we said, great soundtrack.
Unbelievable soundtrack. Yeah. Which brings us to 1994's Muriel's Wedding, recommended by Tommy. Muriel is a fucking sociopath.
And a pig. A sociopath pig.
Young, fat Toni Collette.
Yeah. Here's the first note I made. You know how in like the United States when they make movies like
I like where this is going.
Like I don't know, she's all that.
Yep.
Starring noted actress whose name I couldn't remember and had to look her up because she's nobody.
Rachel Lee Cook.
I
didn't look that up. She's top of mind all times.
Or the movie
top of mind, tip of tongue.
The movie Loser with Jason Biggs and Mina Suvari. No, Mira Sorvino. Okay. Mina Suvari. I don't know.
Probably Mina Suvari.
Yeah.
Sorvino's older.
Or The Duff, where they like.
Which is about Hillary.
No, her sister. It's about
Haley.
Haley Duff. Where they take like a genuinely attractive female actress and they just
put glasses
make
on
her ugly.
Although, I don't know. I think you're giving Mae Whitman in The Duff a lot of credit, but definitely for Rachel Lee Cook.
She's not this like hideous like Chrissy Metz.
Well, we can't all be Chrissy Metz.
Yes, but like she's not
an all-time fat.
They take like a regular attractive woman and just like dull her down to make her hideous. And then when there's like the big reveal of like, oh, surprise, this perfect skin, skinny, big tit woman is attractive.
Can you believe it?
Who knew? They did not do that with poor Toni Collette.
No, they're like, hey, Toni, gain 40 pounds.
They were like, hey, you're already kind of piggish, so can you just be more piggish? And then when we make you look attractive, you're just going to be slightly not frumpy. That was the whole idea behind it.
That was the arc of the movie.
Like, why would we take an attractive woman and make her look ugly? Let's take an ugly woman
when we're in Australia and we have
ugly.
All these ugly people.
Yeah, let's touch on that. 1990s Australia. everyone's fucking hideous.
Yeah.
Like,
this
movie
applies to this movie and the next one.
This movie has 0 attractive people in it.
Correct. Like, her hot friends are ugly.
Her hot friends are like a 3. So, like, I guess if you were in Australia in the 90s, you just were forced to be gay.
I think so.
You're like, well,
well, that's what happened to Hugh Jackman.
the men are 5s.
He didn't want to be gay.
No. The men are 5s.
But what were his options?
Women's are
Jesus
3.
Christ.
So I'm going to go for the higher number.
Take a 5.
Yeah. Higher numbers are your friend. So you want to go with the 5s. So you're like, I'm going to fuck a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, at no point in this movie did I even like think to myself, oh, that's the best looking woman in this movie. There isn't one.
Not even her mom with the bad brain?
Not even her mom with the bad brain. Nobody in this movie is even remotely fuckable.
Yeah, it's tough.
Okay, that's not true. Maybe the South African swimmer guy. He
You know what?
was the most fuckable one. Which,
Yeah.
again, would make me gay in 90s in Australia.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
Exactly.
It's insidious.
So the sort of plot of this one is that
Muriel's a loser.
Muriel is a loser in a family full of losers who is like desperate to get married.
Yeah.
Like her whole sad existence is
Her entire raison d'être is getting married.
She obsesses about it.
This is a fancy podcast, by the way.
Yeah,
Have I mentioned?
We are sophisticated now. She has pictures of dresses. She's constantly thinking about it.
Yeah.
All of her friends are like the hot, quote unquote hot.
Yeah.
Like stuck up bitches.
Mean girls.
Who one of them is getting married to like a dumb bro, a surfer bro.
The bro. Do you remember the bro's name?
I do not.
Chook.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, this is an Australian movie.
Yeah. Chook, which I guess is the equivalent of like a chip. Or like a
hand job.
A kip.
Maybe a kip.
Yeah.
Chook, who cheats on her at their wedding.
Which Muriel sees.
Yeah.
And then instead of telling her friends, hey, I saw him fucking one of the bridesmaids who's also one of her friends, instead of her telling them, they call her a fat pig and tell her they hate her and don't want to be friends with her anymore.
I like this concept, and I think it should be done more often in real life. Like a meeting where you officially kick a friend out of the group. We are no longer friends with you. We're going on a trip without you. Don't talk to us anymore.
It sucks because we've had that opportunity and we've completely blown it. It's too late.
I was watching this and like, man, I wish I was those bitches. I've wanted to do this.
I wish that Drew and Kelly and myself were those bitches because we had the opportunity and we blew it. Yeah. So after getting kicked out of the group,
so I'm saying, if you're listening and you have the opportunity, don't miss it.
Don't
like
waste
we did.
it. Yeah.
If you
don't live to regret it.
If you have someone in your friend group that you hate,
or is a fat pig,
who shoplifts, then seize the day. Carpe diem. That's my second foreign phrase in 2 minutes.
Foreign phrase.
And take them out to dinner and kick them out of the fucking group.
And then when they get emotional about being kicked out of the group, act like they're causing the scene.
Yeah,
they're ruining the night for the person who's just been married.
When they cry, get mad at them.
Yeah. How dare you ruin this night for us? We were so excited to get rid of you, and you are ruining
this.
So after getting kicked out of her friend group, she then so sort of her character is that she's kind of she's not dumb,
not per se,
but she's just not,
she's a woman.
She's
so sliding scale
75%, but she's not necessarily like bright or good at anything. She's just very plain Jane average.
Yeah.
She doesn't really like have a meaning in life.
Wallowing in mediocrity.
And she decides that if she's going to be happy, she has to like get the fuck out. So she steals money from her parents.
Yeah, her
like all of her parents' money.
Her dad has hooked her up with his mistress's pyramid scheme.
Yeah, of selling makeup.
Yeah, and her mom gave her a blank check to buy as much makeup to sell as she
and
wants.
also, like, her mom's kind of like, hey, like, here's a blank check. Please don't fuck us over. And then she's
Muriel's
like, Mother, I would never fuck
okay.
you over. And then immediately fucks her over.
First opportunity fucks them over.
Takes all of their savings.
Yes.
And goes on a vacation the same vacation that her mean girlfriends
Are
went
going on without her.
that they kicked her out of.
Yes.
And she goes there anyways.
Yes.
You know,
like a crazy person.
And
she's the hero.
And lies to her family about what she's doing.
Yes. She's like, I'm making all this money selling this pyramid scheme stuff.
Yeah. So then she goes to the big city to
Sydney.
To like start her new life. She changes her name from Muriel to Mariel.
Because that'll do it.
Because that makes you sound more
like
prestigious. A Hemingway. Then I don't know, just like a bunch of fucking weird stuff happens. She meets a girl who works across the street from her who gets dicked so good by a black dude that she literally gets cancer on her spine.
I don't know if that's exactly how it happened.
At first, that's what I thought, because like her roommate takes these two American sailors home.
Yeah, who's an old high school friend she met up with.
And one's like a super hung black dude.
Yeah.
And then when she comes home and with this guy that she likes and is surprised by these two naked men.
Yeah.
One who's just got a 9.5 inch like anaconda.
I like how you added the half.
Well,
you had a point of reference.
Yeah.
You were okay.
I was comparing it to Nymphomaniac.
Yeah.
Those were 12s. This was 9.5.
Those were solid 12s.
Her friend, who has been, in theory, fucking these two dudes for hours.
Her friend, who is Rachel Griffiths from 6 Feet Under, who I like a lot.
Oh, I couldn't tell you. Never seen it. All I know is Dexter has gay sex with a black man.
Hell yeah, he does.
Gets dick good.
You should watch 6 Feet Under.
You know what? I will.
Or I'm trying to think if you need to watch the whole series.
Or just a clip package of him getting banged.
Well, sure. I'm trying to think if you need to watch the whole series to cry as much as I did at the finale. Or if you can just straight up watch the finale and still cry that much.
Maybe. Let's give it a shot.
It's a great show, though.
But then what if I ruin the whole show for myself?
It doesn't really ruin it.
Well.
But I think, if you know all the characters, obviously, it's probably more emotional.
I don't need to cry any more than I already do.
But yeah, it's a good one. It's honestly one of the best finales ever. Legit.
Is it as good of a finale as the end
Lost?
of Lost?
Yes, it is as good. It is as good as, dare I say, better than Lost.
When Jack fucking lays down with the dog. Oh,
I did cry at that.
Every fucking time.
I did cry at that.
Every fucking time.
Yeah.
Or when he gives Hurley the island.
No, that's fine. I got do it. Give him the island as many times as you want. Just fucking don't lay down with the dog.
Anyways, so she comes out of the room where she's been getting double dicked by Big Dong and regular Dong,
and just gets cancer.
And then she's like, "Oh, I can't feel my legs," and collapses.
Yeah.
So originally I was like, "Oh, did the black dude fuck her
That's
so
the thing.
good?"
It was done very weirdly. Yeah. Like, the way they introduced the cancer was very strange.
That was the exact moment that the cancer
the
was
tumor on her
spinal cord was after she walks out of the bedroom where she's getting
deep dicking.
She's getting DP'd.
Yeah.
Both dicks in her butt. And that's what puts the pressure.
We've established that's gay.
It doesn't matter. You don't know those guys.
DP, same hole.
You don't know those guys. They could be. They're sailors, they're sailors.
It's just frauding, and there's a woman also there.
All sailors are gay. So after that, and her friend is now paralyzed and needs to relearn to walk. Mm-hmm. But then she becomes obsessed with being the pretty girl and being popular.
Well, she starts going to bridal shops.
Yes, like a crazy person,
and saying about her sick sister and sick mother, and
that she's getting engaged. She's
engaged. She's engaged, and they're not going to be able to come to her wedding. So could we just take a picture of me in the dress at the shop
so I can show it to her?
AKA keep it in my creepy fake wedding scrapbook.
Yep.
So there's a bunch of that.
Yes. Which then leads to her friend discovering what she's doing and confronting her.
Yeah.
And
She's
then,
like, hey, stop being a psycho.
And then not being her friend anymore.
Yeah.
And then the rich bitches decide they're going to steal her away.
Yeah.
They're going to be friends with the paralyzed girl so that she doesn't have friends anymore. And then ultimately leads to her mom fucking dying.
Yeah. So and
Mom goes crazy.
Yeah, mom seems to have mental issues from the jump,
from the get-go. Yeah,
but her dad is a bastard.
As do her and her 3 siblings, who all appear to be some form of retarded.
I think they're just Australian.
Well, they're just 90s Australian.
Yeah.
They're ugly and dumb.
They are all,
but they all do seem to have like some kind of developmental
they do all seem,
issues.
I will say they all seem slow.
Like they're all very.
They'll have
slow
low IQs
and
for sure.
Maybe mom and dad are cousins.
Maybe mom and dad are cousins, but anyway,
it is Australia.
Dad's a piece of shit and is cheating on mom. And I think once he tells mom that he's leaving her and wants a divorce, she kills herself.
Yes.
Yeah. And then separately, Muriel is propositioned with a sham marriage to a hunky South African swimmer
who needs to stay in the country,
Australian citizenship so he can be in the Olympics.
I don't. Did they actually ever explain why he couldn't compete for South Africa, or was it just?
I think they wanted him to compete for Australia.
Okay, gotcha.
Like Australia imported him, but they needed a reason to keep him.
Gotcha. It's a real Drew's Hockey Corner. When any country that's not a noted hockey country is going to host a major international tournament,
Cameroon,
and they just give any Canadian or American that plays hockey in the country citizenship.
Sick.
Belarus, Kazakhstan, South Korea, and China all
nice.
do it. It's like, oh, you are a Canadian, doesn't matter how good you are because you're better than every player in the country, and you're living here playing hockey.
One of us.
We're just going to rush through citizenship.
You're Chinese now.
And now you're Chinese.
Yep.
Kevin Smith, you are now Chinese.
Imagine the power.
Yeah.
To make Kevin Smith Chinese.
Kevin Smith Chinese. But yeah, it happens all the time. Thank you for listening to Drew's Hockey Corner. But yeah, I mean, those are the only notes I had for the movie.
Yeah, so in sham marriage, she eventually they actually do end up fucking.
Yes.
After her mom's funeral.
Yes. And I think he at some point...
He even gets a bit into it.
Like, he starts to...
Because at first he tells her...
hate her.
Yeah, because it starts off even immediately after they're married, he's like, don't look at me.
Yeah, he's like, this is my bedroom, this is your bedroom,
and never the twain shall meet. Yeah.
You can use anything out here, don't use the gym, don't go in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And then eventually I think he has more sympathy for her and realizes that she's like, oh, she's got problems.
She's pathetic.
No one has diagnosed what she's got.
Yeah.
And also, I don't want her to stab me because I'd like to go to the Olympics, please.
Yes.
But ultimately, and then she realizes that
she sort of has an epiphany after they fuck. Like, I'm not in love with this guy. This isn't the marriage I wanted.
She's unhappy with the person she's become, and the guy that she met like earlier in the movie is like still into her.
Yeah.
But she's just like completely put him to the side and doesn't even acknowledge him, and she's just like miserable that her life has not gone the way she wanted it to go.
Yeah. So she ditches the marriage, so I guess he doesn't get to swim for Australia, which is sad.
I don't know, because didn't they say they had to be together for a certain amount of time?
Yeah, did they meet the
Were they that
requirements?
certain amount of time? I don't remember.
But yeah, she leaves that, hooks back up with wheelchair Rachel Griffiths. They tell the Mean Girls to go fuck themselves, and that's about it. And then they go back to Sydney to start anew.
I kind of got a lot of lesbian undertones.
Oh, they're gonna
between
fuck.
the two of them, like throughout the course of the
Toni
movie.
Collette's gonna fuck Rachel Griffiths so hard that she unparalyzes her.
Yeah, she's gonna lick her pussy better. She's gonna lick the cancer out of her vagina.
She's gonna that PB.
Yeah, but I definitely got...
Also, PB, a good reason to lick that pee.
Absolutely, especially if you got a dog in the house. Yep. I definitely got some very lesbian undertones from Wheelchair Girl for sure.
Yeah,
like, there was a lot of because she got.
I'm trying to remember if she was a lesbian in 6 Feet Under.
Is everyone gay in 6 Feet Under?
A couple.
No,
I don't know. I can't remember if she is.
Notably,
I don't think she is. Dexter definitely is.
Yeah. This was one that I think I had always heard good things of and wanted to watch.
Yeah.
And then watched it and was like, it's all right.
It's pretty good. I learned that Toni Collette was Australian from this movie. I didn't know that.
Funny thing is, I only learned she was Australian maybe 2 months ago because there's I believe it's an Amazon Prime video a movie where she had an Australian accent, and I was like, why is she doing a dumb fucking accent? It sounds terrible. And then afterwards, it was like,
that's her real voice.
Real voice. So, oopsie.
Turns out it's just a silly accent in general.
Turns out everyone from Australia has a dumb accent.
Yeah, I didn't know that she was the star of the movie, so when I put it on, I'm like, oh no, I didn't know she was a star, but then I saw her name in the credits as the movie started, and then this fat woman appeared. I'm like, that sort of looks like Toni Collette.
Toni Collette playing Porky Pig?
But I'm like, is that Toni Collette? I'm like, oh god, that is young, fat Toni Collette. Yeah. So because she's like skinny in everything else she's ever done.
Yeah, ever since she's been in the United States, she's been like a regular sized person, like a normal person.
So weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. Next up,
1992's Strictly Ballroom, recommended by Eve.
Boz Lerman. Here's the thing.
You say your thing.
I had said that I hate Boz Lerman.
You do. Have you seen The Great Gatsby yet?
I'm going to state for the record, I have seen one Boz Lerman movie before this.
Okay.
And I like it.
Okay. I wasn't ready for that information.
I believe 2009, 2010. Let me load up the IMDb.
I'm trying to think which movie.
2008, Australia, and I like it a lot.
You do like it, yes.
But I think
that's the only Boz Lerman movie you've seen.
It's the only Boz Lerman movie I've seen. I will see The Great Gatsby because you told me to.
And you hate Boz Lerman.
But I think I hate him because I associate him with Moulin Rouge, and I hate musicals.
Yeah.
So I think I was just like, oh, he does fucking bad musicals. And, I lied, I've seen Romeo plus Juliet, which is good. Not amazing, but good.
But you still hate Boz Lerman.
Because I associate him with Moulin Rouge.
Which you haven't seen.
And I think I also thought he was involved in Chicago.
He was not.
Maybe like as a
It's because Chicago
choreographer or
No, it's just because
something.
Chicago and Moulin Rouge are the same movie.
Gotcha. I've seen neither and I will never see either.
I actually watched Chicago for this stupid ass podcast.
Yes.
It was exactly what I was expecting. But now it's not the most recent Best Picture I haven't seen. That honor goes to The English Patient.
There you go. And you also never need to see that.
The English Asian.
The English Geishant. And it's a gay geisha.
We tried this last week. There's no good one.
No.
There's no good one for English Patient or Braveheart, but the rest we fucking banged out.
So, Strictly Ballroom, 1982. Do you want to say your information and then I'll say the very limited information that I wrote down?
Well, my information was this is the least Boz Lerman movie, I think, in terms of what you think about Boz Lerman. Because Boz Lerman's normally pretty earnest with his movies, whether or not they're good.
Sure.
And they're usually, like, they take themselves pretty seriously. This did not take itself seriously at all. This had, like, a lot of silly stuff in it. Because, like, there's the one scene where, like... which I actually enjoyed for its silliness. It was, they were talking about, like, the dance partners and stuff, and, like, well, for that to happen, Pam would have to break both her legs in a car accident. Then a woman bursts in the door. Pam broke both her legs in a car accident.
And he wants you to be his new partner.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen in The Great Gatsby.
Right. Or Australia
or anything.
Or Romeo plus Juliet.
They're all pretty earnest.
Yeah. That's true.
So that's what we're sort of refreshing in terms of just it being a Boz Lerman movie. Then the other important thing was a shout out to Bill Hunter, who played a bastard in the last two movies we've mentioned. He was Muriel's dad, and he's the bad guy head of the Australian
Ballroom Dance
Committee. in this one. It's basically the same character in both. I assume it's not explicitly stated. I assume he's also cheating on his wife in this movie.
Yes.
It's just funny.
He definitely ogles a couple of the female dancers.
Yeah, just in recommendations from two different people for early 90s Australian movies that had this guy as the bad guy.
He's in another very good early 90s Australian movie.
Oh, really?
The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. He's also in that. He's very good in that, actually. I like that movie a lot.
Yep. That was definitely one of because Tommy gave us a few, and wanted us to experience Australia to its fullest, and I know Priscilla, Queen of the Desert was definitely on the docket.
He's also in Australia.
Well, look at that! Shout out to Bill Hunter.
R.I.P.
So I don't know. I guess we can go through the plot a bit.
He's also in 1981's Gallipoli.
Nice.
Another very good movie. A young pre-Sugar Tits Mel Gibson.
Pre-Sugar Tits. So this movie is what's the character's name? Scott Henson.
I believe it's Scott Henson. It's a biopic about you being a ballroom dancer in the 90s in Australia when you were negative 14 years old.
Sounds right. Math checks out. Who's a very, very good dancer, comes from a family of dancers, but is something of a renegade dancer, would we call him? A rogue dancer?
A renegade dancer. Scott Hastings is the name.
There, that's the one. Who he plays by his own rules when it comes to dance. He gets a little fancy, but actually I don't know. I had a big issue with the way he got fancy and the outrage at his getting fancy in that way. Like, he wasn't doing anything all that spectacular. Like, I feel like even the fancy moves he was doing were still strictly ballroom, which was the whole crux of the movie, that like you're doing stuff that isn't ballroom. But I don't know if it's because I've watched so much So You Think You Can Dance and World of Dance, hosted by judged by Jennifer Lopez. And
from Mexico.
I don't know if I'm spoiled by all of this 2000s dance that quote unquote fancy stuff from 1992 isn't even like registering with me. But I felt like because that's the whole point of the movie. And if it was, he should have been like, it should have been like nothing but backflips.
Yeah.
And it really was. It was just like flourishes.
I didn't realize that running and sliding on your knees towards the judge's table was such a taboo.
Yeah. And also, isn't that in like every Latin ballroom dance?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that it was like, if they were so mad about that, why weren't they mad about the other couple like completely like boxing out their ability to dance?
Yeah.
Like, why is that okay, but doing like jumping pirouettes and like flips, why is that so like, oh no, please, you cannot be athletic.
Yeah.
However, you can be a total cocksucker and just stop other people from dancing.
Yeah, exactly. It did seem inconsistent. So the deal is he gets DQ'd from some like regional competition for being too fancy, and then he gets the opportunity to partner with like the best woman in the Pan Pacifics.
Pan Pacifics.
And but then there's this other girl, a newbie, from the dance school, who is more open to his style of fucking.
And she is adorable, but not attractive.
Yes. And also, like, her family's Latino, but she doesn't look Latino. Did you have
was
this
gonna
problem?
bring that up.
Okay.
Let's
talk about this for a long time.
I would like to see a DNA test to prove that she's
she's related to anyone in her family, because her family, like,
her father was like Ricardo Montalban.
Yes.
And she was from like the whitest suburb
she's from
of
Nebraska.
Yeah, like she literally all they did was dye her hair darker.
Yeah.
And have her and give of her Latino parents.
It was a weird choice.
It was weird.
Yeah.
I don't understand why she... I guess the only reason she
I mean,
had
their
to be,
dancing was Latino, but if that was the case, couldn't they find a Latino actress?
Not-
Pardon me,
in
a
Aus-
Latinxa,
in-
which is a female Latinx.
in Australia in the 90s, probably not.
Maybe not.
They didn't have a
Maybe there
big
weren't any.
influx of...
Not a huge pool to draw from, I
No,
guess.
and like now all they get are like dirty Serbs and Bosnians.
Yeah.
There's like a huge Mediterranean influx.
And no beautiful Croatians.
Yeah, no beautiful, scummy Croatians. Listen, I understand that I made angry, hate-filled remarks towards Croatians.
Hey,
but listen,
I may be ugly and hate-filled, but what was the third thing you said?
Listen. My best friend is Greek, and that's close enough.
No, Drew, your best friend does Greek.
Does Greek. And that's close enough.
Yeah. So he like his family like forces him to dance with the good girl, but he's like, no, I want the one who's not as good, who likes my backflips better.
I want the fake Latinx girl.
Yeah.
I want to not win and fall in love with an ugly girl.
And then it was the whole thing about how his dad was basically in the same situation, and this Bill Hunter bastard.
His dad was a secret gay.
His dad looks like a secret gay, but I don't think he was. Although he was a dancer, so I guess he was. I've talked myself into his dad being gay.
Congratulations on getting there.
Yeah, I talked myself through it.
Yeah.
So his dad got fucked out of the Pan Pacifics by this guy who's now the head of the dance committee, because his dad was also a renegade dancer. And so
he also did some fancies.
This guy convinced, because his parents danced together, but he convinced his mom to dance with another guy, which he told young Scott was to save her, but was actually so they would lose, so he would win himself. And his dad just got totally fucked, and it wasn't because he was a renegade.
Can we talk about how much his mom was a huge fucking cunt?
Oh, his mom, absolute cunt. She was the worst.
Fucking hated her.
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
nothing. No redeeming qualities. No happy ending. It was just like, you're a bitch, and I fucking hate you.
Her character was a bitch.
Yeah, I hated her.
Yeah, she was awful. His dad was cool. Amazing comb over too.
His dad was a looker. Quite the handsome young gentleman.
Yeah. I like the old footage of his dad dancing.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
And being a renegade.
The renegade.
Yeah. Anything else I had? Scott Hastings, definitely a dancer first and an actor second.
Yeah, 100%.
Although he did have more acting roles, but this was his first movie. He had never acted before.
This was the leaping off point. This is where they were like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna give you more things to do now."
This was the movie where they strapped a rocket to Paul Mercurio, and sent him to the moon.
His acting credits and his self credits on IMDb are very close.
Okay,
so he definitely does a lot more of
dancing.
Well, it appears that he's a judge on Australia's Dancing with the Stars.
See, I'm not a Dancing with the Stars guy.
And he's also a judge on something called Show Me, which I guess is another like
Show Me
them big natural titties.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it's like some Australian like
talent show or something. Probably,
Australia's Got Talent or something.
Yeah, I don't fuck with Dancing with the Stars. That's like the pleb dance show, because that's where you see like celebrities try to dance. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for the art form. I watch So You Think You Can Dance and World of Dance. Those are like professional or semi-professional dancers. Right. Fucking crushing.
Not just like an average Joe who happens to be able to dance.
No, these are fucking dance. Yeah. These are like if the dance partners of the celebrities, the professional dancers, just had their own show and danced well. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the art. Have I gone to World of Dance Live? Yes.
That doesn't surprise me. Are you artistic?
Yes, I am artistic.
Gotcha.
I have the tism for art.
Do you know that he followed up being in Strictly Ballroom by being in a movie, Gary Marshall's Exit to Eden, which I've always meant to see and have never seen.
I was confused that with East of Eden, but I think that came a few years earlier.
This is slightly earlier than 1994. My stance on this movie was I did not like it.
Because you hate Baz Luhrmann.
I thought it was...
Finally, you saw a Baz Luhrmann movie you didn't like.
I thought it was...
Now you have a reason to not like him, even though he's still batting over 500
I
for
thought
you.
it was dumb and boring. I definitely fast-forwarded through a solid chunk of the dancing. I mean, at least all of the rehearsal dancing, and I definitely fast-forwarded through most of that.
The Paso Doble?
I watched the performance dancing part, but I definitely fast-forwarded through the, like, training and practicing and...
the montages.
Yeah, I didn't give a shit about any of that. I thought that, however, as much as I didn't like it, I thought the filming of the dance competitions was very good.
Yes.
Yeah, like that capturing the action was
quite well done. Baz's movies have good cinematography.
Yeah. I just don't care for the subject matter. And if you're not going to everyone in Australia in the 90s is hideous, so I didn't enjoy
just
looking
not a goddamn looker in the bunch.
Even the, like, attractive women in this movie had so much, like, dumb dance makeup and hair that I was just like, ugh.
Oh, yeah, they look like caricatures.
Yeah, they look stupid.
Yeah.
Big and like hair with, like, cowlick fronts.
Yeah, so silly.
And too much
I mean, some of them looked intentionally silly, but some, like, were made to kind of be hot and weren't.
Like the fashion of 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awful.
Yeah, so for their time and place, pretty high-budget Australian movies between this and Muriel's Wedding.
Yeah.
Not a looker to be found.
Not a looker to be found.
Which honestly... What?
South African swimmer.
Which honestly I respect. I love like Commonwealth movies, like Australia, New Zealand, England, I guess Canada to some degree, although I think we tend to veer closer to the way the US does it, where like the casting is done without looks being a factor.
Yeah.
Just
you're casting actors, not
like,
looks.
Are you good for the role? Yes. Are you also hideous? Yes, but hey, what the hell? Let's give it a shot.
We need somebody to play a teacher who knows a lot about photosynthesis
Mark Wahlberg?
and plants. And
can we get Mark Wahlberg?
Can we get Marky Mark? The answer is yes. Does he know anything about anything?
Yeah.
He knows how to blind a Vietnamese
I honestly
man.
get excited when I see a British show full of nothing but ugly people because I'm like, this is probably good.
Yeah.
Everyone's probably a good actor.
Good actor.
That, like, how else did they get the job?
Yeah. It's the same thing we've said with, like, Ryan Gosling. Like,
is he good?
A good actor?
Who knows?
Doesn't matter.
We'll never know.
Doesn't matter. He's a handsome man.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
5 nominations to 0.
Yeah. All right. Next movie is
1989's Society.
Society.
Recommended by Austin. Austin. Nice pick.
If you are a fan of forced incest and forced human to human transformation, absorption,
shunting,
it's
a classic shunting,
skin to skin orgies, this movie is your favorite movie.
Yeah. So first of all, let's talk about the star of the movie, Billy Warlock.
Billy Warlock,
the best name in the world. Was disappointed that's not his birth name.
Well, if you're gonna pick a stage name,
you can't do much better than Billy Warlock. Also star of 1995 interactive movie, Mr. Payback.
Really?
Yes.
Also star of Halloween 2.
Yes.
And then looks like he was a soap opera actor for a long-ass time.
And he was on Baywatch.
He was on Baywatch. And he was on Days of Our Lives from 1986 to 2007.
Wow. He got work. Billy W. got some work. So,
and he was on As the World Turns. Good for him. And The Young and the Restless. So he was literally a soap opera actor who was in one of the greatest horror movies of all time.
So yeah, this movie's crazy.
Good for him.
Let's run through the movie a bit.
Sure. Where would you like to start? What part would you like to start at? The plot, or just how much you looked at this movie and went, "Holy shit"?
Yeah, I did.
It is a slow burn.
It you know what? It's a slow burn, but it did a good job because like it had me in by at the latest 20 minutes. Like I was very into it.
Yeah.
Because you know something's coming, and it does a good job of building that.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean it is a very slow burn, but
I paid better attention to this than several other movies we watched.
Yeah.
Like I was into
like
it.
it starts kind of slow, and at the beginning you're sort of like, oh, this is like an 80s sexy teens and something bad's gonna happen towards the end kind of movie. You don't really expect to like, oh, hey son, we would like for you to procreate with your sister, and not even your stepsister, your blood sister.
Is she his blood sister though? No.
Oh
he's
yeah,
not.
I guess not. But like,
yeah, they end up not being the same species.
But he thinks it's his sister. Like they are a family, and that's his sister. Mm-hmm. And they're like, we want you to fuck your sister. And he's like, no. First of all, people don't fuck their sister. And second of all, I'd rather fuck mom.
Okay, I'm not sure that happens.
He's the kind of guy who fucks his mom and dad, not his sister.
He's from a rich family, but he feels out of place in it.
Yeah, doesn't really feel like he belongs. He's back from college.
No, he's just going to high school. He's a classic 30-year-old going to high school,
of course, as you and I are.
Her sister's got like not a boyfriend, but like a guy who she kind of follows her around and she doesn't like.
Yeah.
Who
thinks something's weird with
thinks
the family.
something's going on, and then ends up playing a tape for.
He decides to pull a typical late 80s espionage teenager who can hack the DNC, and he records them.
He records the rest of Billy's family because he put a recorder in the car, I think, talking about the orgy and eating that was about to go down, which understandably freaked out Billy a bit. So Billy takes this to his therapist, and who's therapist who then. Listens to it overnight, talks to Billy the next day, says it's fine.
Yeah, you got nothing to worry about, buddy.
The audio has been altered, and then he prescribes Billy psychoactive drugs. I hate to give you drugs, Billy, but...
Billy, I don't want to do this, but I have to do this.
But you're clearly crazy.
You're clearly mentally insane.
And then, Billy goes to meet up with... guy who knows her sister again, and
not boyfriend,
and stumbles upon a horrific car accident with blood everywhere where a body's being loaded into an ambulance, and more weird stuff happens, and including like Billy finds like a little voodoo head in his locker, and like a blow up doll with a regular doll in its mouth in his car. But this was fucking strange. Those two things were just his best friend fucking with him.
Playing pranks.
Which had nothing to do with the rest of it.
Happening.
And then this manipulative ass motherfucker, when confronted with this, makes it somehow Billy's fault and makes Billy apologize. Because the best friend is like, man, it's like I'm only your friend when you need me to be your friend. That's why I did all this weird shit to you. And Billy's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like, how did you piece of shit? And then the other weird thing in the movie was Billy's running against a rich nerdy kid for class president, and then after the shit goes down with the ambulance and the other guy presumably dying in the car accident, this nerdy rich class president guy like makes private contact with Billy and says, he's like, hey, meet me in the woods at night, blah blah, because some shit is going on and I'll tell you about it. So they meet and he tells him whatever, and then they part ways for a second, and then Billy finds like his that guy in his car with his throat slashed. And then Billy, the next day at school for the class president debate, says, "I'm sorry, he won't be here. Something's going on, and he's been murdered.
He's fucking dead."
And then he just shows up, and he's like,
"Hey,
fuck,
everybody!"
And he's like, "Fuck you, Billy." And I'm like,
What?
What was that for?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't part of, like, they didn't need to do that to Billy. That was literally just to fuck with him.
Yeah, and it's not like they knew he was on meds because he was psychotic.
No.
So, yeah.
It was just to be mean.
It was just another mean prank.
Spoiler, they're already planning to eat him. But they also did this just to be mean before they eat him.
Yes. Maybe it's something like they need his body to release endorphins or toxins into his meat so that he tastes better.
It could be that. So anyway, climax time.
Oh, there's a climax.
Billy, is he taken by force to the party? Trying to remember why he...
No, I think he goes because he knows
shit's going down.
Something's fucked up and he needs to prove that he's not crazy.
Right. And then he shows up and then he sees the other guy friend who we thought was
I think he brings him with him, doesn't he?
No. Oh, did he show back up?
Yeah, he shows back up and he brings him with him.
The guy's like, oh yeah, because he's like, oh, I'm not dead. They faked my death. Yeah, because they had a fake funeral for him and everything. Yeah. And they again, not sure why they needed to fake. Well, I guess because he's going to be dead, so I guess they did want to have a fake funeral, so that's on the books.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay. I'll give you that one.
So they could prove that
he's dead. We definitely didn't keep him alive and then eat him.
Yeah, we didn't absorb him.
Spoiler: they kept him alive and ate him.
Yeah. This is.
They strip him down to his tidy whities.
Yeah. They all strip down.
And then they all attach to him and just start sucking and fucking. It's not only for sustenance, it also seems very sexual.
It's very sexual, yeah. There is partially absorbing his life force, but also
some The Thing stuff.
Like using his hands to fill your holes. Or using your hand. Fill his
well, yeah, the coup de grace on the first guy was King Society guy so they sort of explain no, we're not aliens or anything crazy like that. We're just a different species.
Yeah, we're just
that's
different.
Lived on Earth, and we eat the poor. Yeah, including Billy. So, but it was never specifically said that Billy was adopted or anything.
No.
It's just
and also if
all his family are crazy people eaters, one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eaters. So that was confusing. How he got into this family in the first place. Although they sort of said we raised him from a baby just for this day. I guess they're just really mean.
They're just assholes.
Yeah, they're just really mean.
Let's raise a child.
Yeah.
Let's spend time and effort and money.
Spend 18 years
raising this child so that when he's 18 we can also eat him.
Yeah, so we can prank him.
I feel like there's easier ways of eating someone.
Yeah.
You could have just found another 18-year-old and ate him.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah, so these society people, their forms seem to be very nebulous because they can do a big mouth sucker thing to suck on the guy, and they kind of a lot of them attach into sort of one big blob when they're doing a suck too.
Yeah.
And then his parents and sister take a break from the sucking and go up to their bedroom where Billy has run to avoid also getting sucked. Sees his mother and sister as now one entity.
Yeah.
Where the mother is just sort of a head and then a pair of legs.
Yes.
And the sister's head is the mother's vagina.
Yes.
And then the father is just a butt with a pair of legs, and his head is the butt.
Is his butt
is the
hole.
asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool, and it was
that was pretty cool.
an excellent callback because when he was mad, he called his dad a butthead earlier, as you do in 1989,
Of course.
And then upon this reveal, Dad's like, you know what?
I guess I'm a butthead.
You got me.
You nailed it. You nailed it, son.
Guilty as charged.
You nailed it. I feel like this movie was really just somebody, whether it's the writer, director, whoever, just saying, okay, what if we just did a bunch of cool effects where, like, a head's a vagina and a mouth is a butthole?
Apparently, all that stuff was based on the guy's nightmares.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then it was just like, I don't know, let's just, like, write a movie around it.
That. Like, here's what we want. How do we get 90 minutes out of it?
That was, like, the thing of, what's a cool fucked up thing we can do? All right, now let's just try and make a movie.
Yeah, let's work backwards. Let's reverse engineer this.
Yeah.
And you know what? They did it. It was pretty fucking fun.
And it's fucking silly as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd never heard of it or seen it until a few years ago when I bought like a hard copy book that was like a history of horror cinema, and that was just it literally the page just said Society 1989, and then it was a picture of the dad's face as the butt, and then just had like a little write up at the bottom.
And you're like, I gotta find this.
And I was like, what am I looking at, and how fast can I find it?
Yeah.
And it took me a few years to find it.
Yeah, I had not heard of this until it was recommended, and this was probably the most pleasant surprise of the group.
I own it on Blu-ray? Yes.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
Fuck yeah. I like that it has a Blu-ray release.
Yeah, and it's not just like a Blu-ray release.
It's
like,
a Criterion.
it is a one-time print Criterion.
Costs $750.
I believe it might be an Arrow release, I
Okay.
think, maybe, which is still like pretty expensive, but I had to have it.
Gotta have it.
It's the only thing I can jerk off to.
This was good stuff.
This was good. This is real fun.
Next on the list is Feel a Day, but I almost want to save it for later.
Because we're doing two crazy in a row?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's skip it and go to a very normal movie. Hell Comes to Frogtown. 1988, recommended by The Consortium.
The Consortium.
Well, I was told to say it like Ric Flair said it.
The Consortium that Stephanie and Shane sold their stakes to. It was me.
I'm the Consortium.
You and I are wheeling, dealing, kiss stealing, jet flying, partners.
Yeah.
And then he kisses him on the cheek.
It's great.
And Vince just does the old ear pull.
Yeah, that, like a classic Vince gif. The nervous Vince.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, like,
Love it.
Yeah,
Love
a classic.
So this is like because everybody knows the Roddy Piper They Live.
Yes.
Which is like a classic and like really good.
Yep.
Like as far as a science fiction horror, it is like referenced to this day with like the like brainwashing and like seeing beyond the what you're being shown, like
lizard people,
like people use those references and
now.
like and like the scene
35 years later.
The scene of him putting the sunglasses on, looking at the sign, taking it off, looking at the sign. Like people use that as a meme now.
Yeah.
Right? That's and like the fight scene that South Park literally recreated shot for shot.
Yes.
In the cripple fight episode.
Yep.
That's like the go-to Roddy Piper. This one
just as relevant.
This one is like not the same because Roddy doesn't really have the same like charisma as They Live, but he's still like for a guy who wasn't actually like an actor.
He did good.
He did good. Like he's.
It was smart for him to get into acting. He didn't become like a huge actor or anything, but like he is a great guy from that era to have gotten into acting.
He's got personality. He's like the thing is he's so fucking ripped.
My first note is Roddy Piper did more steroids for this movie than he ever did in professional wrestling.
Absolutely. But the thing is, he's
huge.
He was never a good professional wrestler. He was just a great entertainer.
Yeah.
So even though it predates it, this movie is Super Mario Brothers. Like it is like
Yeah.
post-apocalyptic, similar sets,
Yeah.
similar costumes,
Yep.
frog people that are kind of just Toad. The special effects, the visual effects, and everything are like very similar. It's kind of like the newer Star Wars movies and Super Mario Brothers like put together.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the setting of the desert and that's to me what I've always looked at it as.
Yeah. So it's post-apocalyptic. There's been nuclear war.
Yeah.
There's very few fertile men and women left, and we're trying to repopulate.
But I'll tell you who's the most fertile.
Roddy fucking
Piper.
He cannot stop getting it wet.
Can't stop fucking.
And can't stop knocking women up.
That's his job.
Across the land.
His job is to get people pregnant.
So he's sort of captured by this group of warrior nurses.
Yeah, I guess that's what they are.
Who are the closest thing to a government.
Yeah.
And is fitted with an electronic explosive codpiece to control him.
Yeah, so that he can't try and like run away or they'll blow his dick off.
Yeah. And
what a horrible life to live. You have to keep fucking these women.
Oh no.
And if you try to leave fucking these women,
we're gonna
blow your dick off.
Yeah. And the
should we mention that his name is Sam Hell? Thus why hell comes to Frogtown.
Which I didn't know until they said his name, and I laughed out loud.
You're like, that's silly.
Very silly. And the plot is that a group of fertile women who were going to be Piper's breeding partners have been kidnapped by the mutant amphibians of Frogtown and are, they're just raping them, I guess.
You'd think, but
it stands to reason.
Frogs don't have penises, do they?
I believe one has at least 3, as we found out in the Dance of the Three Snakes, serpents,
correct.
Whatever it was.
Only one though. The rest of them don't.
He has all the dicks for the whole group.
All the frog dicks.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if they're like
talk about an imbalance of power.
I guess if they're human frog like genetic.
Is the implication that because they mutated from human, right?
I guess they're just like anthropomorphic frogs.
Yeah.
They're not human frogs.
But they went in Ninja Turtle terms, they went the Splinter route, not the Turtles route.
Yes.
Because Turtles went turtle to anthro, Splinter went human to anthro. The cooler way to go.
Yes, correct. Yeah, TF is the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's not implied that they were humans that, due to the nuclear war, mutated into frogs. It was the nuclear war caused the frogs to mutate into larger anthropomorphic.
Oh no, I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was human to frog.
Ah.
I think these started as humans, but it's also sort of implied that like it happened via like evolution and mutation. But I think the nuclear war was 10 years ago, so that's a pretty quick evolution.
But how fast do frogs
fair
procreate?
point. Fair point.
Like they probably spawn offspring because like they have babies, and then within a year, babies are having babies. Whereas like obviously with humans, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So they could have been in 10 years of like just evolution.
A lot of cycles.
Evolution, it's a mystery.
It's true.
But yeah, so even though like Roddy doesn't have the personality or like lines, like the acting of They Live, he's still got like tons of magnetism to him.
For sure.
Like he is such a charismatic human being.
Yeah.
That even when
also out of his mind.
And it goes completely nuts. But even though like he's not given like the dialogue or the character development that he's got in They Live.
Yeah, he doesn't get to sink his teeth into it as much as that.
Still like you still recognize the like
sure.
the just the pure sexual animal magnetism of Roddy Piper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So the nurse Amazons or whatever the fuck they are. Use him to sneak into Frogtown.
Yeah.
To bring back the women that he was gonna fuck.
And he's sort of his own Suicide Squad because they've already milked him.
Is he the Suicide Squad or just Suicide Squad?
I think he might be Suicide Squad. I know.
Then it's going to be bad.
I know, not as good. But they've already milked him, so they have a bunch of his genetic material for use later.
Yeah.
So he's more expendable than the women.
God, what a horrible life to live. You get fucking milked, and you get to fuck a bunch of women. Terrible.
What a post-apocalyptic nightmare.
Horrible.
God, I hope there isn't nuclear war.
God, I hope I'm not the only fertile man left in a nuclear war.
Yeah.
It would be such a hard living situation. You just wake up in the morning and a woman jerks your dick until you come. Terrible.
So Sam Hell comes to Frogtown.
Comes in Frogtown.
And meets up with a young Rory Calhoun. And by young, I mean very old.
Crazy. Bonkers that Rory Calhoun is in this fucking movie.
Love it. He plays Looney Tunes.
Yeah,
that's his
Looney
name.
Tunes, yeah.
And then it's just basically your standard save the bitches from the frogs movie. And look, I'm not a scaly, nor do I even support that lifestyle. No. But there should have been a hot frog.
Like there should have been frog tits.
Yeah, there should have been frog tits.
Yeah, there should have been at least frog
that's
tits.
my issue.
There should have been
there were female frogs,
yeah,
but they weren't hot.
There should have been a frog prostitute.
Yeah,
who had a frog tits and tries and because one of them sort of tries to fuck Roddy.
Yeah,
and she should have just.
But I didn't want to fuck her.
Do you like these?
Yeah,
and then he'd be like, "Oh, hey, easy. First of all, dunk, dunk, dunk. I can't. I got a cod piece on." But second of all, you're a frog.
Yeah, and second of all, amphibians with mammaries, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, we didn't get that. We didn't get some big old frog tits.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of anthropomorphized species that don't have mammary glands being given big old mammary glands.
Yeah. Like that tiger lady in the third or fourth Hunger Games.
I think you'll find that tiger ladies have mammary glands because they're mammals.
Yeah.
Did we learn where we tripped up on that one?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. But like birds.
What bird movies have tits?
Howard the Duck.
Oh yeah, duck.
Duck titties.
Ugh, ducks. Gross. And their twirly penises. Disgusting.
Yeah. But it is always fun. I'm like, look, I know they're not supposed to have them. But
I want them.
But let's give them anyway.
But
look,
I want them.
Artists, movie makers, anything out there, as a doctor of biology.
And pussyology.
And by doctor, I mean a bachelor's. But still, I did 4 years of something. You have my blessing to give non-mammals big old titties.
Big old jumbo naturals.
Yeah. And that's the end of the show.
I had seen this before.
I had not.
And end of statement.
Good job.
So
he saves the women. They kill some frogs.
You know,
yeah. Everyone's cool. He fucks. The end is like if we gave you a 3-sentence outline of the plot and told you to guess the ending, you'd get it right. Yeah. They're like Roddy and the nurse he's fallen in love with. They're necking.
They're going steady.
They're snogging. and then she's like, but you also gotta fuck all these women. And he looks back at all the women and he's like, whoa. Like, of course that's what the ending is. Yeah.
A real Joey Lawrence situation.
It makes sense. Which brings us to 1992's New Zealand title Brain Dead, North American title Dead Alive. Why the change? No fucking clue. What was the point?
The only thing I could say I said was there was another movie called Brain Dead, but why does that fucking matter?
There's 2 movies called Mother.
There's like 5 movies called things.
Actually, I can think of off the top of my head, I can think of 3 movies called Mother.
Yeah, so I don't know.
What's your favorite movie called Mother?
Called Mother? Darren Aronofsky's?
Wrong.
Oh.
Albert Brooks, Debbie Reynolds.
Never seen it.
It's good.
I mean, it's Albert Brooks. I should probably see it.
I don't know if it's good.
Oh, okay.
You know what? It's Albert Brooks and Debbie Reynolds. It's probably... I mean, I remember it being good. It's been 20 years since I've seen it.
So you watched it when you were -6.
That's correct.
Okay.
The thing that I remember most about... It's probably 1996-ish.
Okay.
The thing I remember most is... Because it's about... I don't know if like Debbie Reynolds has to move back in with her son Albert Brooks or something like that, but he's trying to throw out ice cream in her freezer, I think, because it's been there for like since the war and is disgusting. And she's like, no, again, because the ice cream gets that like ice shit on it. Yeah. And she's like, no, that's the protective ice.
You mean the freezer burn, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But anyway, Brain Dead. Peter Jackson's best movie?
Sure. Definitely his best movie.
No, Drew, you fell into my trap.
Ah, damn it.
Because you've forgotten Meet the Feebles. Peter Jackson's best movie.
Best movie.
Let's go down the scale. Number 1, Meet the Feebles. Number 2, Brain Dead. Number 3, The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
Smaug. Yeah.
At the end.
Done. You nailed it. Can you name the other Hobbit movie? Not the first one.
Number 1, An Unexpected Journey.
Yeah,
Number 2, Desolation of Smaug. Number 3, The Battle of the Five Armies.
I couldn't tell you. And I'm also not going to look it up so that your brain goes insane.
That's fair enough. I saw the first one, and I'm like, that's enough.
I might have seen the first 2. Like, my mom really likes the Lord of the Rings movies, and I think I went to theaters with her for...
I like the Lord of the Rings movies, too. You know what I'm not crazy about? The Hobbit movies.
I like taking a book and turning it into 3 bad movies.
First time around, let's take 3 big books and turn them into 3 movies.
Yeah.
Next time around, 1 small book, still 3 movies.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
You in? You sold me.
What if we shoot them at an insane frame rate?
Well, we want everybody...
that makes you throw up.
We want everybody to get violently ill in the theater. Like, of course.
You have my business.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sorry, and I apologize. This is recommended by Me No Likey.
Me No Likey. So, let it be stated, for the record... Mm-hmm. Of this
is canon.
This is for the historians listening to this podcast in the future.
Yep.
No human being in the entire universe has ever had more fun making movies than Peter Jackson.
Agreed.
Peter Jackson has done so many like bonkers, next level crazo things in his early film work that nobody else would like. Other people would find it a chore or a task that has to be completed, whereas Peter Jackson is so excited to get to do just the dumbest, silliest, bloodiest, gruesome looking, gory, like special effects, visual effects, like everything.
Yeah.
He is so in love with doing it, and it is so awesome.
Yeah, he's just having a ball.
And
it shows on the screen.
And like, he's the kind of guy
who
fucks his mom and dad. He's the kind of guy who thinks up an idea and then is just like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Like, let's not overthink it.
First idea, best idea.
Let's not try and make it look like... Because, I mean, it looks amazing, but let's not try and overdo this. Mm-hmm. Let's just have somebody grab a lower jaw and an upper jaw and just go...
Pop them.
and just peel them apart like you're taking fruit by the foot off the backing. Just like, done. Like,
which actually, I don't think we gave it its due in society. The end game of the shunting is shoving your fist all the way up a guy's ass to where it comes out his mouth, and then pulling his face with your own hand coming out his mouth all the way back in. And the way Billy defeats them is when he's about to get shunted, or I guess that's not the whole thing is the shunting. When he's about to get fisted, he turns the tides on the guy and makes the guy fist himself. Shoves it all the way through, makes him grab his own face with his own hand, and then completely pulls himself inside out. He was cool.
Yeah.
And then that freaked out all the other society people, and Billy got away.
Everybody else was like, oh no, he might do that to us, except
Yeah.
for we can overpower him because there's like 40 of us and one of him. And he's a human and we're not.
But anyway, brain dead.
Brain dead, yeah, man. He has so much fun. Like, I wish I lived in New Zealand in the 80s.
I wish I lived
90s
in Peter Jackson.
so that I could like try and get on his
Yes.
movies. Because, man, like, they are so much fun.
I mean, the movie starts with rats raping monkeys.
Rats raping monkeys, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, of course, right there, interspecies erotica,
Already
A+.
A plus.
He definitely has this style of doing like soap opera-esque, like really close tight shots.
Yes.
Or like push-ins that are really fast, that are like on the surface are like really ugly.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, like, not a good-looking thing, but it really just adds to the silliness.
It's very intentional and achieves the effect he's going for.
Yeah, like, it's not him not knowing how to do something. Like, it's
yeah.
like, this is going to look insanely crazy.
Yes.
But so is
Which
the
is what
rest
I
of
want.
the movie. So it's just, like, low angle, like, really fast.
Yeah.
Where it's just the head. It's amazing. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah. So another bitch character in this movie, the guy's mom.
The guy's mom.
And look,
Yeah.
yes, she's a cunt, but I wouldn't want my son dating a dirty gypsy either.
Yeah.
So I see where she's coming from.
You shouldn't-
I have more sympathy for the mom in this than Strictly Ballroom.
Absolutely. Yeah. Strictly Ballroom, straight up cunt.
Yeah.
This one,
Shout out to Vera in this.
concerned about her son's well-being.
Yes.
So yeah, the
It's not her fault she got bitten by an infected hybrid rat monkey.
rat monkey.
Yeah.
So essentially, what happens is the movie starts with an explorer is it Borneo?
Something like that.
I think it's Borneo or no, it's not Papua New Guinea. I think it's Borneo.
Southeast Asia.
An explorer trekking through the jungle looking for this mythical
Rat monkey.
creature to bring it back to the Wellington Zoo for showcase.
Yeah.
And him and his sort of like sidekicks are being hunted down by the local tribesmen who know the evilness of this rat monkey and don't want him to remove it. Which leads,
But they haven't discovered Jesus, so can you really trust them?
To some fucking amazing half-assed spear chucking. I don't know if you noticed it, but
Are you calling me a spear chucker?
I'm calling you a spear chucker.
Okay.
You spear chucker. So the actors who are portraying the like local tribesmen are clearly not trained in the aspect of throwing spears.
No.
Because the camera essentially it's quick cutting back and forth between them running with this crate with the monkey in it to try and get onto a truck, but then the camera is also turned the opposite way and showing the natives running at them, but it's like all handheld, so it's really like shaky and runny. But at a certain point when they finally get onto the truck and it turns back to face the natives and they're like throwing the spears at the truck, the spears go maybe 3 feet and they go kind of like straight down. So like you can see them and there's like no wind up. There's no shoulder motion. It's just from the elbow and it's just like, but like there's 5 or 6 of them that get thrown that just don't even go. It's so fucking
Not a lot
funny.
of guys who did javelin in high school.
No javelin throwers.
Yeah.
Very, very comical.
Yeah.
So as they're escaping, he ends up getting bitten.
Yeah.
And then when the local guides realize he's gotten bitten, they chuck him out and then take off with the monkey and then still sell it to the zoo.
Yeah.
By them, like, so they take the money.
Money's money.
Money's money and pussy's pussy.
Yep.
So now we are in New Zealand and there's this like neurotic, nerdy, dweeby little queer who lives with his mom, and his mom is a overly bearing, controlling, like kind of bitchy evil woman.
Yeah.
Who wants to run his life, and she's a She's a real woe's me. If you don't look after me, what's gonna happen to me?
Yeah.
I'll die if you're not here to help me.
One of those guilt trip cunts.
Well, yeah, she's a guilt trip bitch. And so he runs errands for her, and there's this girl that works at the local shop that he's very much into, and she's
Latina gypsy.
She's a Latina gypsy, and he wants to be with her, but he's his mother first. So he secretly starts dating her, and then the mother decides that she knows something's up.
Yeah.
So she follows them on their date to the zoo, where during them, do they kiss? They kiss, and she has a
Yeah, she gets the vapors.
And she gets the vapors and stumbles backwards, and then the very comically done claymation rat monkey bites her arm.
Yep.
So he decides... he sees her, he takes her back home, he's going to look after her, but she's in part of high society, so she's trying to, I don't remember what they're called. It's like the union of rich cunty women.
Yeah.
Who like women empowerment, but only the rich ones.
Yeah, only the rich white ones.
Yeah. And so he has to like hide that she's sick, but also trying to figure out like what's going on with her, and then she dies and becomes like a rabies infested like corpse.
Yeah.
Who attacks other people.
Yeah.
And it has like two levels. It goes from like
you gotta peel the onions,
silly comedy, to like undead sort of like zombie, where she ends up biting multiple people who turn into zombies,
and he has to keep hiding them all in the basement.
And he keeps hiding them in the basement,
which is a very funny solution.
Tying them up and chaining them up, but then he still feeds them like food. But then the next level to that is that she gets out and starts attacking like him. There's like a funeral, and then his uncle gets involved because his uncle wants all of the inheritance,
the house,
and he's
and
a fat pig.
Yeah,
and then when they all end up escaping, and then there's like fucking, and then they make a zombie undead baby, which is just an LP in a costume and is fucking funny.
Very funny.
And then the uncle blackmails him because he finds out that the mom's being held in the basement. Yeah. Blackmails him for the house.
He's like, you got to give me anything. You got to give me everything. And then the uncle holds a housewarming
massive party, which then he unintentionally releases the undead into the household.
And shit
and
goes
that
down.
Is
it's
the next
craziest thing
level.
Ever. It is this scene that makes this movie regarded as one of the goriest movies of all time.
Yeah. It's literally just a house blood orgy.
It's a full blood orgy.
Full blood, like, so people are just like limbs getting ripped off, like heads getting ripped in
liberal
pieces,
use of
like
a lawnmower,
full skin getting ripped off. Not only zombies but also living people getting like ripped in half. And having like at one point they try to save one of the guys who's crawled through like a dumbwaiter sort of. Or just like a door, and they're trying to pull him through one way, the zombies have him the other way. They literally strip the flesh from his waist down off his body, but his bones are still attached.
Like
and
pants.
And his legs are still moving. And it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like this has to be like the number one pinnacle of like practical effects gore. Yeah. Like nothing has ever reached this level. Like everything, like, you know, so eventually what ends up happening is the gypsy Latin girlfriend and like one other random house guest who like she doesn't even fucking matter. Are surviving alone in the house, and this is sort of like his moment of like not being a coward anymore. And he goes outside and gets a lawnmower and just holds it up to his chest,
and it's go time,
and just steamrolls the fucking party. Just like blood and guts and body parts everywhere.
The
spray just covers him, covers the party, and like eventually saves the girl. And then, but yeah, anyway, so he ends up like not being such a fucking coward. Some of like the notes I made were never bang a Latino, your mom will die. So I need to formally apologize to my mother.
You should call your mom.
My mom's gonna die 30 times. There was an unprecedented second movie with white guy karate. The priest at one point beats up a group of thugs who are trying to rape or rob someone, or
There's
both.
actually a minute of white guy karate in society too.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
3 movies with white guy karate.
Yep.
But yeah, the priest does some pretty ridiculous white guy karate. Now, to state, the white guy karate in Grosse Point Blank is very good.
Yes.
The white guy karate in Society is decent. This is bad.
Correct.
This is comically bad white guy
Yes.
karate. This is like you hire an actor with no intention of there being white guy karate, and then learn the actor has been doing like amateur level classes for a few months.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, Bert, you're doing karate in this. I chose Bert because I feel like that's a very New Zealand and Australian
Honestly, great
name.
pick.
Yeah. So yeah, great white guy karate. And then another note that I made was there's a poster or like a screen cap of it, of him in the house covered in blood with a bunch of like dead zombies and stuff around him, that as a kid I always thought that it was Bruce Campbell. It looks a lot like him,
like an Evil Dead
like
thing.
hair wise, and like it's not really like a tight shot, so it looks a lot like Bruce Campbell versus the Army of Darkness. And so I always thought it was a Bruce Campbell movie, but I just never saw it until, like, I don't know.
And like, oh, this is from New Zealand, and I've never heard of anyone in it.
Didn't think about it. I've heard of Peter Jackson, who's in it.
True.
He plays the, like...
Touche.
The weird...
He plays the mother.
He plays the weird, nerdy, like, doctor's assistant who eats a sandwich.
Nice.
With no beard, which is very silly.
Weird.
Very weird. But yeah, just as a movie-going experience, like, it's wild. It's so rad.
Yeah.
It is so rad.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's completely insane. There's no reason not to like it.
Absolutely not. Yeah, and even if you don't like horror...
I don't like
movies,
horror. This is great.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Comedy horror is fine.
Comedy horror is great.
Yeah.
And this is like one of the greatest comedy horrors of all time.
Absolutely.
Like, I would put this and Tucker and Dale versus
This number
Evil.
1, Scary Movie 4, number 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That's the one where the poster is the leg making the 4 after Dr. Phil cuts his foot off? It is.
Sure.
It is.
You know better than me.
Dr. Phil and Shaq recreating Saw.
I was out after 2.
Where Shaq couldn't make free throws to save his life, and that was a running joke. That was the joke in it.
That's pretty funny.
Yep. But yeah, great watch. Excellent watch. Next.
How about a little bit
Hey, we're finally leaving the late 80s and 90s.
Let's take it to the 70s. Mm-hmm. Based on a book from the 60s. That's right. This has source material.
Well, all right.
1979's Taro the Dragon Boy, recommended by Eve. This is a movie, is what this is. So, okay, say what you will about the movie.
It's an animated movie.
It is an animated movie. It's a Japanese animated movie. Luckily, there was... I like that a dub was made of it.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting it.
I was not either.
I thought I'd have to track down subtitles, but I'm like, oh, they're speaking English. Great.
And it's in full on YouTube.
And also, for the credits, no one knows who did the English dub. The voice of Taro is listed on Wikipedia. It's a 55-year-old woman.
Yeah, it sounded like a 55-year-old woman.
And every other voice in the movie, unknown.
Doesn't surprise me.
Amazing.
Doesn't surprise me.
So say what you will about this, but I like a movie that starts with a child's dick and balls right out of the gate. Mm-hmm. Opening credits, Taro does a handstand, no underwear.
No, absolutely no underwear. This... I got a lot to say about this movie, and I'm running out of steam here. So,
Did you like the song about the wind?
it was
insanely repetitive song that is sung more than once over the course of the movie.
It was a real take my breath away from Top Gun, where it plays, I don't know, 9 times.
Memories from Cats.
Memories from Cats. Yeah, it's a real. We've got one good song, and it's too good to not play more than.
But
once.
it's not good.
I know it's not good at all.
There's better songs in the movie.
I'm not gonna do this one justice. It is Taro, who is a little annoying bitch, whose mom is dead and he's raised by his grandmother.
Yeah. And
his grandmother has always told him that his mother died birthing him.
Yeah.
And was turned into a dragon.
Yes.
And then was never seen again.
Correct.
And Taro decides that he's an adventurous little son of a bitch.
Yep.
And he wants to adventure out and find his mother.
Yeah, well, because it's sort of revealed that she's not
dead. That she might not be dead. That there's a rumor of a dragon, and he thinks it's his mom.
So was she? When did the dragon TF happen? Is my question. Because she was pregnant.
She was pregnant and a human.
Pregnant and a human.
In theory, then dies
at some point. Turned into a dragon. At some point, gave birth. This is what we know. Was she a dragon when she shat out Taro?
No, I think she was a human.
Yeah? I think she might have been. I think she was a dragon.
Maybe.
And here's why.
And that's why he's the dragon's boy.
That's why he's a dragon boy. Because that his whole thing is he's the son of a dragon.
Son of a dragon.
And because he's got those... he's got like a blue like sort of scale marking on like his arm, which someone like makes note of once. They're like, oh, what's that thing in your arm? And then it is never referenced again. Why?
No one says anything.
Okay. Yeah. I thought that would sort of like come up again like when he finds them, like she's got the same marking or something. But like, nope, never mentioned again. So that was weird and cool. He... What was I going to say? Well, I've lost my train of thought.
Good.
But
so you were saying that whether or not she was a dragon when she gave birth to him.
Yeah, I think she was.
And then, I guess that's the only question.
That's the main thing.
So yeah.
And then, so there's this plot point that's introduced early on, which in hindsight, I don't understand the point of. So after he's done sumo wrestling some animals, as you do.
Well, yes, of course. Especially a bear.
A bear.
A
wizard shows up for no reason.
Okay, I'm gonna.
If you can explain this to me, I'll be thrilled.
I don't think I can explain it, but I'm gonna say. So at one point before he does that, he sees like this streak thing flying.
Yes.
And he out loud says, "Oh, that's the wizard blank," and I'm going to go where he lands.
Yes.
And then he goes, but then the wizard hasn't landed.
Correct.
And then the wizard comes and he goes, "Who are you?"
Yeah, that was odd.
Like he literally says, the wizard by name, that's where he's going. I'm going to go there.
Yeah.
Goes there, no wizard. Then the wizard shows up and he's confused as to who he is.
Yeah.
And I noted that he's just an old man, topless,
sure,
wrestling a child in the woods.
Yes. And so
starts out exactly the way I'd like it to start out, and then I was majorly let down.
Doesn't end the way you'd like. So what the wizard does is he gives Taro a potion, just unrequested, just for fun, that gives him the strength of 100 men.
Kids, if you're listening, and a wizard offers you a drink
from wizards
in the forest,
take it.
You take it.
Yeah. Gives him the strength of 100 men, but with the caveat, he can only use it to help other people and not himself.
Yes, he can't put himself in trouble and use it to get out of trouble. He can only help others get out of trouble.
This stipulation comes up
every 10 minutes.
Never.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Never.
It's never mentioned again. No repercussions. No.
You'd think there would be a conflict where he uses the strength for his own benefit, and they're like,
I thought there would be some point towards the end,
Yeah.
you'd think logically by plot.
There's a reason there was introduced.
That he would need to use the strength to, like, save his mom, and because he's doing it for his own reasons, wouldn't be able to.
No.
Or something.
Nothing.
But, like, he uses it to beat up the red demon.
Yep.
He uses it to beat up the black
demon.
He uses it to help those people with the water.
Yep.
Even though, like, that's kind of not really, like... That's just nature.
Uses it to help the old woman who's catfishing him.
Yeah. Like, there's no repercussions whatsoever.
This would have worked exactly the same if it had just been said at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Taro is strong.
Yeah.
That's it.
You didn't need...
That's fucking it.
You didn't need the wizard. You didn't
Nope.
need this potion. You could have just said, he's Taro the Dragon Boy.
So he's strong.
So the Dragon Boy is strong.
That's it.
That's it. That's literally all you need.
So weird. Such a weird choice.
So dumb.
So he goes along helping people, doo-dah-day. So it's eventually revealed to him that his mother... while very pregnant with him, it was her village job that day to go out and catch some fish. But she was a pig.
I'm glad you got that, because I must have not paid attention to that part.
Here's the deal. It was one of the easier village jobs, which they gave to her because she was very
And
pregnant.
because she's a woman.
So she went out to catch some fish, but she was a pig, and then she ate the fish instead of bringing them back to the village because she was 9.5 months pregnant and wanted an extra fish. This was enough for the gods to punish her by turning her into a dragon and making her shit out Taro.
Yeah.
And then Taro gets sent down the river Moses style.
Yep. Or Todd Flanders.
Or Todd Flanders style.
Todd Flanders?
Who's to say?
What's the younger? Todd's the younger one. Rod and Todd. Yeah, Todd. Todd Flanders.
Todd.
Yeah.
And
his
get
off your seat, save my Todd.
And his grandmother finds him and raises him, but he's sucking this like big old milk sphere.
Milk sphere.
Which gives him all the strength and nutrients he needs. But then he runs out of his milk sphere and he's hungry. So this is the one other time when Taro was a little bitty baby that the grandmother once again had contact with the mother. And it turns out that the first milk sphere was one of her eyeballs. And then she gave her other eyeball to keep feeding him and is completely blind now.
Turns out it was just cum.
She had classic cum eye.
Cum eyes.
And yeah, so now she is a blind dragon.
Blind dragon.
Through a series of adventures, eventually finds what lake or whatever she's inhabiting. Yeah. And so then they have a reunion of blind dragon and son.
Before you get to that.
Yeah.
I had a major issue with two things before you get to that point. Yeah. Number one, why the fuck didn't they show us Mom TF?
Oh, don't fucking get me started.
That's the whole fucking point of the movie, is seeing someone turn into a dragon.
Don't have a major plot point being turning into something, and don't show me. Show, don't tell.
Hate it.
You ever made a movie before?
No.
Jesus.
Apparently not. Second of all, the old witch woman who tells him where the serpent is. Why was she so fucking stacked, and why did we need to see one of her tits?
Yeah, she was stacked. We saw one of her tits, and she was gonna either rape, eat, or kill him.
She was 3'11".
Yeah,
and had double E's. And I'm not even good double E's. Like they were saggy and pointed straight down.
Yeah.
But why did we need to see that?
Not sure.
And why was she trying to fuck a child?
Because Japan.
You know what?
My answer to you...
You know what, Scott? I'm going to delete that part of the podcast where I asked that question.
Because, of course, it's Japan.
Of course it's Japan.
My answer to you, as it has been before, is Japan.
Japan. All right, continue.
So reunites Blind Dragon and Son. So she's in this big body of water.
One might call it a lake.
Yeah, that's sort of dammed up. But if they undam it... which is something he sort of did before, and it worked for that village. But this is a bigger one. This will give, I don't know, all of Japan enough water for rice paddies as far as you can see. Yeah. It'll save everyone. Everyone will have enough to eat, and there won't just be one old cunt controlling the rice supply.
Yeah.
So they do it and they bash it, but and damn, fucking mom goes hard.
Mom goes ham
on this thing.
Mom goes
she
ham.
absolutely mutilates herself,
wrecks herself,
undamming this thing. It eventually works. It kills her in the process.
She in fact did not check herself before she wrecked herself.
But because of the sacrifice she made, she is both granted her life back and her human form. And here is where I have another quibble. She already sacrificed both of her fucking eyes to feed her son.
Yeah.
And that was not enough. She actually had to kill herself. God damn, Japan.
God damn it. And she was still blind when she came.
Unclear. I'm thinking she got eyes back.
I thought she said something, or like he was saying like
that. I actually can't remember.
I'm right here or something. But maybe that was when he saw her.
I think that was Dragon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah. There. Yeah. I think she got eyes back as human.
Yeah. So,
speaking of human reversion,
when she became back, when she turned back to a human skull, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
A kimono was involved, or maybe undergarments?
No, not as I recall.
So nothing quite like realizing that your long thought dead mom was in fact still alive.
Yeah.
You spend the entire
was a dragon 5 minutes ago.
You spend an entire journey
Yeah.
to reunite yourself, to finally meet your mother,
Yes.
who you've never met and you thought was dead.
Yeah.
And as soon as she returns back into her human form, she's just hanging tit, full on muff,
full
and
frontal.
Everyone is fucking cool with it.
Yeah.
Just like, Mom, I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna put my face between your tits.
Yep.
My hand or knee might accidentally touch your vagine.
Who's to say?
And everyone was just like, "Oh, they're reunited." Oh, this is so heartwarming. That's disgusting. Like, if I had never met my mom and I saw my mom for the first time and I saw her full fucking nude, I would gouge my eyes out. I would be the blind dragon. Yes. I would be the blind dragon boy because I just seen my mom's fucking pubic hair and vagine.
That's true. You don't want your first mom. Well, I guess everyone's first mom experience is pubic hair.
But it's not a memory.
But you don't want your next mom experience to be pubic hair.
Yeah, birth is fine, but nude mom, not cool.
Yeah. That being said, I did almost cry.
Oh my god.
It was sweet.
No, it was not.
Not the nudity. I think like the sacrifice.
I was more into the nudity than the sacrifice.
In terms of jerking off or crying?
Crying. I was like, those are some beautiful tits.
Oh, they were so
tears.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you.
Milky white tits.
That's fair.
Yeah, they were perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I covered all my notes. My last note is 3 words: full nude mom.
Yeah.
So, and this actually, like a lot of movies we've done, it's like climax and then like no falling out. It's like climax credits.
Yeah. I guess that was animated movies in the 70s.
Get in, get out.
I feel like a lot of older animated movies are like that.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of post
epilogue.
Yeah, like everything is like, the end of the story you've seen, done.
And good guy wins the fight, movie over.
Peace.
Yeah.
Well, sticking with the 70s.
Let's go a little earlier. What do you think? 1975, Dog Day Afternoon, recommended by Tommy. I fucking love Sidney Lumet.
Yep.
You know what my favorite Sidney Lumet movie is? It's the movie based on a play where there's a bunch of drunk people sitting around arguing.
12 Angry Men.
Could you look up maybe Sidney Lumet's filmography for me and run through a couple and see if it's there?
Find me guilty.
Long Day's Journey into Night, you bastard. The movie that got us divorced. People were worried that we really got divorced after that, but I said it was just a bit for fun. But I was actually mad at you for like a week. And still sort of mad. I still harbor resentment. I David harbor resentment.
That's fun.
I'm a real Hellboy.
I don't even like you. Do you know that IMDb has a TV streaming service?
Weird. No.
Anywho, Yeah, Sidney Lumet. What a guy.
One of
What a
many
guy.
awesome Sidney Lumet movies from the 50s, 60s, 70s,
Done.
or 2000s.
Or 2000.
I feel like his 80s and 90s weren't that exciting.
They're not. Yeah,
but then Before the Devil Knows You're Dead is really good. In 2007.
Yeah, 80s is just a whole lot of just random crime drama or like nothing of real importance.
Bangers for 20 years, takes 30 years off.
Yeah, well.
Back with Philip Seymour Hoffman and Ethan Hawke.
Can't win them all. Or
two of our faves.
Can win them all.
Or you know what? He won them all.
You can.
I always forget that this is a true story.
Yeah. Real, based on a real incident.
Yeah, pretty cool. So it's Al Pacino and John Cazale.
Now,
John Cazale.
What a career.
Is fascinating.
What a fucking career. There's a documentary.
Fascinating.
There's a documentary about him.
One, let's get it out right away. He's ugly.
Yeah.
But it was the 70s, so you could be
He's
ugly.
not a handsome man, but in the 70s, everyone fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't matter if you were ugly or not.
So
everyone fucked.
John Cazale has been in 5 movies. They have all been nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, they are. This is the credits you want in your career.
Yeah,
these are the movies that you're like, okay, if I only am gonna be known for. I'm gonna be in movies for less than 10 years.
Yep.
I'm gonna fucking die.
Yep.
And then those movies are some of the greatest
all-time
movies
greats
made of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Conversation, Dog Day Afternoon, Deer Hunter. That's it. Those are all the movies he's in.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 5 of the best movies of the 1970s.
Yeah. There is a documentary about him and about his short-lived career and being in all these things.
He did lots of stage acting too.
Yeah, lots of stage acting and stuff. Yeah. Like he didn't get into movies until later, but yeah, what a career.
And was not married to, but was the partner of and lived with Meryl Streep for the last 3 years of his life, died with her by his side, and she is on record as saying she has never gotten over him, even though she's obviously remarried and stuff. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Crazy.
Yep. You gotta hitch to that rocket ship on the way up, and then when it collapses in orbit, you have to...
So you're saying John Cazale is the Challenger.
He's the Challenger, yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna go on record and state that of all the movies we've seen, this is the best movie of the list.
In terms of actual movie quality?
As a movie, this is the best movie.
Yes. I think you're right.
Also, even though it was the 70s and like we said, everyone was fucking no matter what you look like and blah blah blah. Very, very progressive.
Weirdly progressive for 1975.
70s.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like as far as the characters and like the statements being made and like very progressive.
Yeah. I mean, the plot, again, based on a 100% real thing, is the best. It's the best plot of all time. Mm-hmm. Guy robbing a bank so he can get 1970s trans surgery for his boyfriend to a woman so they can get married and not be gay.
And not be gay, yeah. And not be looked upon as freaks or, like, criminals.
It's the best.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's such a cool thing to be made in that era, because now that seems like a more mainstream.
And also I feel like they would ruin it now unless they did just stick to the facts.
They would definitely ruin it now, because a lot of like the based on true events or whatever now is like they just take the basic concept and then change a bunch of things
buck wild with it
to make it more appealing, mainstream, more entertaining, whatever.
Woke.
Whereas this is just like, here's what happened, we're filming it.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, basically that's the plot. Is three like dumb, like not
like
even
first time,
not even
like,
criminals.
They're not criminals.
They're
yeah.
not criminals. They're just that's the only way to get like he's so in love with his boyfriend.
Yeah.
But knows that you can't get gay married.
I need to make my boyfriend a girl,
and that you're gonna be treated like not a human being if you're gay. Yeah. So the only way to get the money,
the perfect no holes in it solution, is to get your boyfriend top of the line 1970s gender reassignment surgery, so everyone will look on you guys totally normally after that. It'll definitely work out.
I mean, I guess if you're going to like move away where people don't know you, it's a little less likely.
A little less.
But it's still 1975.
That's the thing.
Yeah, so
that's the big hole.
Yeah. But the thing is,
well, I guess that's the other big hole because we're trying to make
another big hole. Well, no, you want a tight hole. You want to make a snug hole.
Spoken like someone who hasn't seen Al Pacino's dick. You need a big hole. Yeah. Trust me.
I was going to say that I feel like Al Pacino definitely has done some more progressive or risque... I'm
gonna get my boyfriend trans surgery.
Not risk gay, but
so
risk
then
gay.
We won't be gay anymore.
He's definitely done some roles like that that were a lot more progressive in that time frame.
Yeah,
but then not so mainstream things. But goddamn, fucking. Just the punch that we'll never get an answer for in Cruising. We'll never get an answer for that punch. It was just a punch.
You see the clip and you assume there's a context in the movie.
Yeah, and you're like, nope.
There isn't.
No. But, so they...
When I smoke this weed, it makes me feel like a grandma's boy.
Grandma's boy.
Al Pacino in Grandma's Boy.
Grandma's Boy. You threw me off.
I'm sorry, I threw you off with Grandma's Boy.
So yeah, as you can probably assume, the bank robbery goes badly. Not go the way it should.
They get there right after the money pickup for the day. Yeah. So there's, instead of hundreds of thousands of dollars, $1,100.
Yeah, which is not enough.
It's not great.
And then of course they get trapped in.
One guy immediately runs away.
Yeah, they get trapped in the bank, and police obviously, and then a lot of the movie is just conversations on the phone.
It's hostage negotiation,
as it normally would be. Also, conversations with the gay, not quite trans lover.
Yeah,
who then begs him to give up.
Yeah.
Right? begs him to give up, begs him to not go on with this because, obviously...
I don't need the surgery that bad. I mean, I do want the surgery.
I want the surgery, we want the surgery, but also, I don't want you to get shot to death by the police. Yeah. Or I don't want you to spend the rest of your life in jail.
P.S. I want the surgery that bad.
Yeah, but not that surgery. You want the surgery.
Yeah, no, I want my surgery.
So you want me,
it's not the same surgery as...
You want me to rob a bank for you.
I would be willing for you to get just riddled with bullets by the police if it meant me getting the surgery at the end of it.
But it doesn't end up with you getting the surgery. It ends up with me dead and no surgery.
Well, then where's the fun?
There is no fun. That's the whole point.
Well, that's a sad movie.
It is a sad movie. It's a very sad movie.
Why don't we make a nice one called Cat Day Afternoon, where we both successfully rob a bank and then both get the surgery?
That's amazing. Let's do it.
Can we do that?
Let's do it.
And also, can it not be a movie and just be real?
Just real. Real life Cat Day Afternoon.
Can we just do that?
Yeah. Real life Cat Day Afternoon.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. It's
future
coming.
podcast.
But yeah, this is genuinely the best movie that was nominated. There are other movies that are good.
Yeah.
But this one, as far as story, quality, people involved, it's
prime Pacino.
Prime Pacino.
Yeah. Mid-70s Pacino is awesome.
Yeah. It's a really, really well done.
Yeah.
The story's amazing. The acting's great.
I have a real soft spot for
gay sex.
certainly, but this isn't gay.
It's called your butthole.
It's not gay because she's going to be a woman.
Not yet, though.
True, it's definitely gay right now.
Yeah, right now it's gay.
Super gay. I have a big soft spot for when criminals turn the public against the cops.
I agree.
Because like a crowd forms around the hostage situation, and then Al comes out at some point and he's like, "Fuck the cops, Attica," and that's where the big Attica chant is. And the chant's like the crowd's all chanting, "Yeah, fuck the cops."
Yeah, fuck the cops.
Yeah, it's I do like it. Yeah, when criminals are able to turn the public opinion against cops, like Black Lives Matter.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think I'm allowed to say that.
No, probably not.
I'm probably in trouble now.
Yeah, the only thing though is like he's not necessarily like he's not even a he's a criminal. In this
He's committing a crime, but he's not a criminal.
Not a bad guy.
Yeah.
So it's done.
His heart's in the right place.
It's done for love.
His heart's in a gay place.
It's done for love, which is more than you and I can say we've ever done for each other.
It's true. And then I like
it's strictly hatred.
And he's until now wasn't gay. He has an ex-wife and kids.
Yeah,
Al Pacino does.
Yeah.
And I like so they give the little epilogue at the end, like so John Cazale gets shot because the FBI tricks him basically. In the limo they were taking to the plane they were gonna escape on. I mean, nice idea, guys.
Which has worked 0% of the time.
Yeah. Has anyone ever
get me a plane on
gotten
the tarmac?
The flight?
I want a plane on a tarmac. I want a helicopter from here to the plane.
No one's ever gotten the flight.
Yeah. What was like? I mean, obviously, like John Dillinger and all that stuff. But like, what was the first modern bank robbery, and did anything work?
Not a bank robbery, but DB Cooper worked. Robbed a plane and parachuted out. Never caught.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously, there was tons of like train robberies that like worked.
The Great Train Robbery?
There was Great Train Robbery.
Oh.
There was also a not so great train robbery.
Sure.
But no, you know, like go into the bank, hold up the bank,
get a bunch of money, leave.
Negotiations, blah, blah. Like, what was the first one, and did anything work? Like, were they able to get? Because like, it's not like, you know, now, or even like in the 70s, you would be like, okay, they're gonna ask for. They're gonna ask for a way out. They're gonna ask for a plane. They're gonna they know the steps. But what was the first one where they were like, oh my god, they're asking for a helicopter or like they're asking for a plane? Like,
do we give it to them?
How do we like how do we get them the plane?
I guess we just give it to them.
Yeah, like I want to know what the first one was.
And has it ever worked?
And has it ever worked?
I'm thinking no.
That's going to be some off-air research, I think.
So the thing says that so the John Cazale gets shot. Pacino serves 20 years in jail, and it says his ex-wife Angie and his kids are living off welfare. To which I said, get a job, Angie.
Get a job, you dumb bitch.
Your ex is in jail. He ain't giving you much.
Yeah.
Fucking get on it.
Get on it.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah, so that's the takeaway from Dog Day Afternoon. Get a job, Angie.
Get a job, Angie. Which
takes us to, let's do it now, Feel a Day.
Okay, Feel a Day. Feel a Day.
I was feeling it. 1994's Feel a Day, suggested by Edward.
It was...
Edward, we have to talk.
Edward, why
don't you take a seat over here?
First of all, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Second of all, why do you hate us? In the sense that this movie is pure nightmare fuel. The fact that you asked two kitty cats to watch a movie where cats continually get their throats slashed or decapitated.
A bunch of research to find like what movie shows the most dead cats.
Yeah, like I hope that he's like a canine and he wanted to punish us.
I fucking swear to God,
you
Edward.
Motherfucker.
Eddie, you listening?
Eddie. Big Ed, you son of a bitch. There is a full-on cat decapitation.
Yes.
Like there's the head, here's a bunch of blood,
head
there's the body.
Separate from body. There's a decapitation, there's a disembowelment. There's just a bunch jumping into electricity and dying.
Yep.
There's a bunch of throat slashed.
Throat slit.
Yeah.
I did not know what I was getting myself into. I thought this was going to be Oliver and Company, and I got myself fucking a Serbian film of cat movies.
I was going to say, you thought this was going to be Oliver and Company, but you forgot that this movie was made in Germany.
The Germans.
Because, man, was this movie ever made in Germany.
Made in Germany.
Everything from Germany, whether it's for adults or babies, feels like it's made by Werner Herzog. He's like, I have to show the people the futility of life and the violence and how life is pain. And we'll put the kitty cat in there, but it will be murdered.
Yeah. I must show the world that the human experience is not a human experience. It is a living being experience. So even though the humans have the poor manners towards each other, the kitty cats also do not treat each other well. And that I must showcase the children's desires to see happy, upbeat kitties. But really what I want to show is them killing each other and having their insides removed, and so they are on the outsides. And also, no one should ever listen to that tape.
You must destroy that tape.
I love Werner. I love him so much.
Might be the best man.
He's my favorite. Anyways, yeah. God damn this thing. I will state for the record. I watched this. I had it on the laptop with my headphones plugged in.
Yeah.
And Veronica was watching MasterChef Colombia.
Sure.
And I was playing video games.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it's going to be a kids animated movie that I'm just going to like.
I don't need to devote
I'm going to half pay attention
all of
to
my
just,
attention to
just
it.
to get the gist of it so I can talk about it on the podcast. Oh yeah, I played video games for like 10 minutes and then I stopped.
Controller goes down.
Yeah, I watched.
Yeah.
And like literally I still had the headphones on and I just kept going like what? Yeah, like let's talk about how like there's just sex, and then they're talking about cruising, like gay cruising.
I love that pretty early in the movie there was a cruising reference.
Yeah. I see you've picked up a young boy for
cruising the gay scene.
Cruising the gay scene. I'm sorry, what?
That was great.
Yeah, so the gist of the story is you're getting a narration by the main cat, who lives with a fat piece of shit guy. Loser in like a rundown apartment. Or like, I guess.
No, like a rundown mansion.
Mansion, yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's a mansion.
It's got like 3 or 4 stories.
Where he's got to he's sort of learning the
lay of the land.
The lay of the land, and he meets like a sort of maimed chonky cat,
a neighborhood tough
with no tail and
Bluebeard.
one eye that's been like cut
Yeah.
and removed, and he sort of like befriends him, but like the friendship is weird.
Yes,
because like he's still kind of mean to him a little bit.
He is still kind of mean to him.
And as they're sort of like browsing the neighborhood and they're learning like who all the other cats that live in the neighborhood are, they discover a dead cat.
Yeah.
The cat has had its throat slit, and
apparently, Bluebeard informs him that this is
Bluebeard's
not
the chunky one.
This has not been the first lately.
There has been
string.
several. So he goes on this like murder mystery journey.
Yeah.
To try. And,
I was not expecting this movie to be a murder mystery.
Me neither.
Yeah. At all.
I didn't know what I thought. Oliver and Company.
Yeah,
but
I thought I knew it was German, so I thought there would probably be sex. I thought it would be a dramatic version of Fritz the Cat. I think that's what I thought.
Sure. That makes sense.
It was also not that.
Though. It was absolutely not that.
Yeah.
So he discovers that there is a secret cult of cats.
Yep.
In the attic of the mansion.
Yeah, of the where
he's been living in.
Yeah.
Where they are worshiping the sort of concept or idea of this like
this sort of martyr cat.
Martyrdom. Yeah, this cat who
Claudandus.
Wouldn't it suck if it wasn't that and it was like Claude Dandis and you're like, what?
I think it is Claude Dandis.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I don't think it's the LAW.
Germany, what the fuck?
Come on. Because I think it's Latin for something.
Oh,
it's Latin for he
who's
must,
a martyr.
It's like he who must be put together or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
You could have changed it.
I know.
So he finds them sort of like worshiping at this like altar, but there's like electricity where they're like electrocuting cats.
Yeah.
To like
willingly.
Like
they jump into the current.
The cats are like sacrificing themselves in the name of Claudandus.
Yeah.
And he accidentally like gets discovered, and they're sort of like, "Hey, motherfucker!" Like
It seems like they're going to chase him and kill him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then they don't.
He escapes.
Yeah, he gets away like way too easily. For there being like 50
there
or
were a
60
lot of them.
cats, he gets away very easily. So he ends up meeting a female cat, like an indoor house cat.
Girlfriend.
Whose name is
Felicity? Yeah.
And he like obviously has feelings for her. There's also like the fake bad guy one whose name is Kong.
The big chonker.
Who's a huge chonker.
Yeah.
Doesn't even look like a dog.
Okay.
He looks like a gorilla.
I mean...
Like a dog gorilla.
He's a cat.
Is he a cat?
Yeah.
I thought he was a dog.
No.
Oh, because he doesn't look like it. He doesn't look like either of them.
Well, now you've made me think.
I've confused you.
I assumed he was a cat, but now I'd have to revisit. But anyway, that brings me to a point I wrote down. So character design wise.
Yes.
Main guy, Francis, looks awesome.
Francis.
He's a good boy. He's a good looking cat.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a regular looking smooth cat.
Yeah. Every successive character that's introduced in the movie looks less like a cat.
Yeah, that is true.
like Bluebeard and then Kong and then
You know what? You're right. I'm gonna say Kong's probably a cat.
Yeah,
but
like
a giant. I kind of thought he was a dog, but maybe it's because I don't think I really paid attention to his tail.
Yeah,
like, I think just the upper. I was like, oh, that look at this dumb.
Yeah,
dog.
no, he's an insane looking cat. Like he doesn't look like a cat.
But yeah, so like him, Joker,
who's the leader of the cult,
an insane looking. Cat.
Yeah, like most besides Francis don't look like cats, which would make you think that they just can't draw cats. But Francis looks great.
Francis is good, and
Felicity looks good.
The
one he fucks.
The one he fucks looks good.
Yes.
Pascal looks.
Yeah, Pascal looks fine.
And then Claudandus looks.
Well, spoilers.
Okay, well, spoilers. But yeah, it's I lost my train of. Oh yeah, anyway, so he while he's investigating, he meets this
computer cat,
computer savvy, technologically enhanced cat, Pascal, who is informing him of all the information,
and he's got records of all the cats in the neighborhood and the ones that have been killed.
So then he's saying like, oh, like it's 5, and they're all European short hairs.
Yeah,
and then he goes, it's actually 6, and the 6th one's not a European short hair. And then turns out, oh no, it was his girlfriend,
my new girlfriend.
She's fucking dead. She's straight up fucking dead, and it just happened.
And her head has been removed.
And her head is completely ripped off. Like, not even just cut. It's completely separate from her body. So he then sort of gets into into a confrontation with Kong, and Kong's like gay Siamese cat sidekicks. And they're gonna he's gonna beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
But then sort of realizes like, hey, like, why? Oh, because they discover one of his like bitch cats that he has sex with is dead, and he's kind of like, oh, like I'm not gonna stand for this anymore. Like I need to find out who's doing it, because he thought that Kong, because Kong said like, I'm the one that did it. I'm the big bad booty daddy, and then turns out he wasn't. Yeah. So they go to investigate who's been doing this, to which they discover that it's been a crazy scientist doctor guy
who operated out of the top floor,
out of the mansion
of his mansion,
who was experimenting on these cats.
He was trying to make some tissue bonding thing that closes up wounds instantly. Yeah. And his test subjects were stray cats.
Yeah, and that makes sense, because if you see the rest of the cats throughout the rest of the movie, they all have scars.
A lot of them are fucked up.
Cut eye, like they're missing an eye, or like no tail or whatever. So it makes sense that he's been experimenting on them. And then it turns out that he had one test subject that was
worked on
his magnum opus.
Yeah, it was Claudandus.
Claudandus, who then kind of caused him to go insane.
No, I think he was just like, the doctor himself was just like getting drunker and more unhinged.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then Claudandus recognized this and killed him.
And took over.
Yeah.
So then he discovers that Claudandus is real.
Yeah.
And alive.
Yeah, and not just a myth.
And not just this myth.
Yeah.
And he's this kind of the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's revealed that Pascal, the computer cat, is Claudandus. Yeah, that's the reveal.
And
which you largely see coming, but because it can't really be anyone else.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
Well, Claudandus's reasoning, his motivation, because it's not like he's just evil. Is he's been because he's learned about genetics from being around all these scientists, and there's all these science books in the house that he's read. So he's read Gregor Mendel's theories on genetics and all that. So he's been trying to
Joseph Mengele.
He's been trying to selectively breed because this female cat that showed up that
Fox.
That was just fucking begging for it. She was thirsty.
Yeah, total whore.
Yeah. And P.S. You see full cat sex.
Yeah, cat sex.
Did we mention? So she's this like kind of like funky exotic breed that Francis doesn't really recognize.
Yeah.
And so what Claudandus / Pascal has been doing is he's been trying to selectively breed the neighborhood cats actually backwards evolutionarily to a more wild,
a more feral,
wild feral cat, so they can kill all the people.
They can take over. Yeah, they can kill the humans.
Which, you know what? I respect the idea.
I respect it.
Yeah, anything that kills a bunch of people.
If I had to choose sides, I'm choosing Claudandus.
Yeah, agree.
Especially because they're Germans. I'm not choosing German people.
Yeah, I didn't think about that aspect when it came as it pertained to Germany. I was going to say the selective breeding, and
although
that's
I guess they're
a little
German
dicey.
cats. So
I'm a German cat and a Siberian cat.
I didn't realize that Siberia was a region in India.
It's in Prussia.
Prussia, northern India.
Yeah. So then there's a Francis and Pascal who has cancer and is dying, so it's a Walter White situation or a Jigsaw situation.
Except for Jigsaw never dies.
This preceded both. So original Jigsaw Walter White, Pascal.
All right.
So and he wants because the reason he's been killing these other male cats is because they weren't worthy of breeding, but he thinks Francis is and would be a good successor for him. But Francis rejects the title bestowed upon him, and they have a big showdown, and Pascal lunges at Francis, and Francis just holds his claw up and tears him open from chin to scrotum. Everything comes out.
Everything's out.
Also, a fire starts in all this because every animated battle has to have a fire at some point.
If it's two cats fighting, gotta have a fire.
True. And really, that fucking Lion King, Jungle Book. Pretty sure Robin Hood had a fire.
Yep, Robin Hood has fire.
Yeah. So you know they stuck with they dance with who brung them.
Yep.
And and then. Francis, in the fire, stumbles upon Bluebeard, who has been gravely injured by Pascal, but drags him out and presumably saves him. It doesn't actually explicitly say it, but he does drag him out, so I guess he doesn't die.
Yeah.
And again, climax over.
Done. Finished. Yeah. Oh boy.
Francis is a good boy.
Francis is a good boy. But also, what a coward for not choosing to fuck.
Yeah.
You get to fuck all the women you want.
He could have been Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper's not a coward.
He could have repopulated the earth with cool exotic cats.
Exotic feral cats that kill humans.
Yeah. How is that? Yeah. Would you say it like that? How is that not awesome?
Yeah. You coward.
You pussy ass bitch, Francis.
Bitch.
Which of course takes us to 1995's Gumby the movie from Sea Dog.
95 or 85?
95.
Really?
Yes.
Did I watch the wrong movie?
Yes.
Is there 2 Gumby movies?
No. So you probably just watched
I probably
one
just wrote it
and
down as
wrote it down
1985.
wrong. Because it's definitely 95. Come on, the music is way too hip for 1985, Drew. You're crazy.
Oh yeah, I guess it would be before, because no, Gumby was around in the...
Gumby was around in the 60s, but this movie...
Maybe I wrote down 85? Yeah, I wrote down 85. I should have wrote down 95.
Yeah. No, this is at the...
it's on Tubi.
This is at the... I love streaming services that people don't use. Yeah, this is the height of grunge. Pearl Jam was in this movie. So yeah, if we had words for Edward for Felidae, we got a lot of words for Sea Dog for Gumby the movie. Why did you pick this?
I hate
What was going through your head? This movie made me feel insane. It made me feel schizophrenic.
Yeah, this one...
Like, there's so much weird shit in it that, like...
I took so many more notes than I should have for this movie. I don't know if it's because I was just in that mindset to take notes, but
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and like, this was at least written by a schizophrenic.
It was written by somebody on drugs.
The plot is insane. Mm-hmm. I also
especially for a kid's movie standpoint.
Yes. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird. Let me try to do... Okay, first...
Also, who was watching Gumby in 1995?
Nobody... Yeah. It was a Gumby
when I
show
was
in the 60s.
3.
Yeah. First of all, the voice acting... Like, everyone is intentionally... Well, not but a lot of the main characters are intentionally monotone.
Everyone's monotone, and the dialogue is very choppy.
So choppy.
And it's very, like... It's non-childlike. Like,
Yes.
it's very adult, like, very, like... This is the manner in which you should be speaking, and I am going to use every single word that I know in describing this. There will be no slang. There will be no pauses. I am just going to speak until the dialogue written on the page is done. Now it is your turn to
There will be one bit of slang. There will be Pokey the Horse saying "Holy Toledo" 400 times.
3 bajillion times.
Including one time, numerous times in a row.
Yep. There is one note that I made on dialogue that says, I think at one point, one of the I don't fucking care about the characters. He said...
I'll tell you which character. Give me... describe it, I'll get you.
His exact statement is, someone has kidnapped them. Surely.
Someone has kidnapped them, and don't call me Shirley.
Yes. It's... Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, a bunch are weirdly monotone, and then one guy is Ed Wynn.
Is that Gene Shalit?
No, that guy's Groucho Marx.
Oh.
Voice-wise.
Yeah.
He's not actually Groucho Marx, but like he's doing Groucho Marx. Then one guy is just doing Ed Wynn, like Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland, the Ed Wynn's perfect fool character. Yeah. The doctor is Ed Wynn voice. So those were all interesting choices. So the fucking plot of this fucking movie. Okay, I
don't know that you need to go so in depth on something so stupid.
No, I want people to feel the mental anguish that I did. Like, this made me feel mentally ill.
So Gumby
and his horse Pokey fly in from the moon. That's how it starts.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter.
No, not even remotely important.
Pokey lands at one spot, and then Gumby keeps going and lands at another spot. This results in Pokey being sort of mad at Gumby.
This results in Pokey being a sad sack cunt.
Yeah, for the first half hour of the movie.
Yeah.
And then it's completely resolved.
Yeah, so he's mad at him, and he's a little bitch about everything until he finds Gumby, and Gumby goes, Pokey, like, what are you so... And he goes, yeah, you're right. That's it, done.
Yeah.
Nope.
I kind of thought it would be like a whole movie arc, but no, it was an Act 1 arc and then totally resolved.
Yeah.
So the deal is Gumby's in a hot new band, Gumby and the Clayboys.
More like Gumby and the Gay Boys.
Did I say that out loud to myself and then laugh at myself while watching this? The answer
I
is
said
yes.
it to you before you watched the movie, you jerk.
I forgot, and then thought of it myself again and laughed again.
I mean, it's a real easy joke to make. They are called the Clayboys.
Yeah. So they have a hot new band. They also Gumby
Where
also
they play rock and or roll.
yeah, really shredding.
They shred.
Yeah.
It's like listening to early Pantera.
So Gumby has an anthropomorphic horse named Pokey who they just talk to like equals.
Yeah.
Gumby also has a non-anthropomorphic dashhound, Dachshund. Pardon me. Named Lowbelly, cute name,
Most adorable name.
Who's just a dog.
It's a real Goofy Pluto situation.
It's an absolute Goofy Pluto.
Now, is it okay for Goofy to fuck Pluto?
We've established yes. Especially if Goofy is a white woman.
He's not.
Then it's definitely on the table.
But then why is he as a dog allowed to fuck the cow? Interspecies erotica?
Cows don't have agency. So
That's fair.
yeah.
That's fair.
You can do what you want.
I'll allow it.
It's like fucking a plant. It doesn't matter.
Why? Because cows are food?
Because cows are food.
Okay, that's fair. And that's why people can fuck sheep?
Absolutely.
Because they're clothing and food?
Because they're clothing and food.
Yeah.
If you're two things,
If-
I can fuck you. Like if you're a man and a woman, I could fuck you.
Just be aware that if you've ever bought meat or clothing from New Zealand or Scotland, you're eating someone's cum or you're wearing someone's cum.
That's an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah.
And 100% accurate.
Yep.
So, the music that Gumby and the Clayboys play is so beautiful that it causes the dog Lowbelly to cry. And these tears immediately crystallize into very valuable pearls.
Yeah.
Now, smash cut to the loan agency, where these
The loan agency.
where these two guys with cubes for heads, they call them blockheads. One says J on the side and one says G on the side. I think we can all guess what the guy who says J on the side stands for at the loan agency.
At the loan agency.
I assume the G stands for guy who is Jewish, and you can figure out the J. So they've repossessed. Okay, and are you still working?
Just another Jew?
Yeah, you got it. So the way the world of Gumby works is all the characters can move into and out of books.
Yeah, it's educational
And
for kids.
the world's contained within those books. So in the farm book, which is where the loan agency is, they've repossessed all the farms.
All the farms.
Because honestly, my biggest problem with the movie. How does nobody own their farm? How are they all indebted to the loan agency? How dumb are these farmers financially?
Well, they're all women.
They are all women.
And women farmers are worse than male farmers. Hold on, I'm going to piece this together.
Okay, keep going.
And
talk it out.
Women make 70%.
Yeah.
So their loan payments
Are 30%
are
higher?
30% higher. So they can't afford to pay it off as quickly as a man.
And also because they're not even allowed to handle the money
And they
in
can't
the household.
vote.
And they can't vote.
Yeah, nailed it.
And if they're white, they vote dogs.
Nailed it.
Perfect. Airtight.
Yeah.
So, so all the old female farmers get their letters from the loan agency and fall down upon reading them.
They faint.
And then the loan agency is so greedy that even after...
Why are they greedy?
Who's to say? Probably J and G. That repossessing all the farms isn't enough. And they have heard tell of this dog that cries pearls.
Yes.
So they kidnap the dog. They cloned the dog's essence onto a robot, send the robot back to Gumby so he doesn't think his dog is missing. They keep the dog in a cage and tried to get it to cry pearls for them. So they play a recording of the Clayboys music, but it's not enough to make them cry. They need the real deal.
Yeah, they crank it up to 11.
So then they kidnap the whole band and make robot clones
And
of
fuck them.
and make robot clones of them and try to make them play the music live so it makes the dog cry the pearls.
Yeah.
But the technology is not quite there yet, and they're bad at music.
They're bad at music, yes.
So it doesn't work. So that's sort of the main plot, and then so the Gumby clone gets loose, and there's
Goes on a murderous rampage.
goes on literally a murderous rampage, and then you get a lot of hot Gumby on Gumby action.
Yeah.
And
If Gumby's a white guy, there's more white guy karate.
so Robot Gumby kills regular Gumby 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Literally slices them in half.
Slice them in half, like
Run
just
over them.
yeah. Like I don't know at what point they'll understand that Gumby is immortal. He's the chosen one.
Yeah, he's Christ.
You can't kill. Yeah, he's a
Gumby
Christ
is
figure.
Christ.
Yeah, and Robot Gumby is Satan, the fallen angel.
Yeah.
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 So eventually, and they've established that water is bad for robots. So Gumby lures Robot Gumby into a clever trap, and luckily Gumby's dad is a fireman. And then they soak him and hose him, and he dies a pretty gruesome death.
Yep.
As does the rest of the robot clone band.
Yeah, but the way that they get the robot clone band is so silly. Of like, they've sprayed water.
Yeah.
Robot Gumby's dead. The robot band comes and they're like, he's dead. And then they walk into the water.
Step into the water and melt. And that's kind of it. Everyone's sort of happy after that, and they play a nice little concert, and then go back to the moon at the end of it.
Why not?
Oh, no, and with all the pearls, save the farms, of
Save the
course.
farms.
Yeah, this was a big farm aid
Yeah.
type
farm
movie.
aid,
Yeah.
yeah.
Get it together, farmers.
So, I made some notes. Just awful fucking claymation, like by 1995 standards.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
this
Like,
was made.
it's-
This was
it
made
is
in
advanced.
1912.
It is advanced 0 since the '60s television show.
Yeah, it
I
it
think
looks
it's made by
horrible.
the same people. I think it's just this weird married couple. It's like a
Doesn't surprise me.
It's like Jan and Art Clokey or something.
All right.
I'm gonna look up the Clokeys. You say more of your notes.
Cloakies. At the beginning, there was some claymation cultural appropriation, as there was animated dancing natives, and then Gumby decides that he wants to do it as well, and so he
That's
does.
right.
He does claymation brownface.
That's right. Yes, he does. Yeah, he does some whirling dervish dancing.
At one point, it's just that the girl Gumby can fly and
yeah.
like stretch into whatever. Like,
Yeah,
why did you wait until
their initial fight with Robot Gumby? I'm like, oh, she is also all powerful.
Yeah, and why don't you just use the fucking power? Like,
Yeah.
if that's your power, why not use it all the fucking time? Why wait until the very end when you've been driving around in a car looking for Gumby? And then, so one big fucking problem I had was that there were these two groupie girls who
Yes.
were on the lookout for, like, trying to track down Gumby because they want to see the show, whatever. Then when they
and
find,
maybe fuck him.
and when they find out that he's gone missing, they're like, "Oh, we saw the blockheads take him into a book." So they're driving around, and the one girl, like, "Oh, I can't remember the name of the book that the electronics and
yeah.
robots book that they were taken into. Maybe it's this one." And they drive into Old MacDonald's farm. You dumb cunt. Yeah, robots and electronics, and it's going to be Old MacDonald's farm, you idiot.
That was fun.
Then there is like a big record producer guy who wants to put them live on TV for their performance.
Yes.
He's this Jewy Gene Shalit looking motherfucker.
Groucho Marxy.
Groucho Marxy, and when Gumby comes back, but it turns out that the rest of the band has been kidnapped, and he decides he needs to go save the rest of the band, and Gene Shalit's like, don't you know how... No, I can't even do it. Oh, don't you know how much this costs? If you guys leave, I'm gonna lose all his money. These cameras and lighting cost so much. You're gonna lose so much money if you go.
And it's a very dry cold.
And he doesn't give a shit that Gumby's friends have literally been kidnapped and experimented on.
Yeah.
Because the Jewy producer is gonna lose a bunch of money. And on top of that, this is the second movie on this list that involves a bunch of people morphing together.
Oh my god, hot take. Gumby the movie has more body horror than Society or Brain Dead. There is a scene where who is it? Is it just two random people and Pokey?
It's Pokey, the girl one, and the dinosaur one.
The dinosaur, that's right. So two of them are going down a slide and Pokey's at the bottom. And they slide right into Pokey, and it's just a full The Thing / Color Out of Space issue. They're all just one disgusting blob.
They've just morphed together, but you can still see the color separation as they're in a ball
some
with
greens,
their three heads poking out.
You can see some greens, some reds, some yellows, but it's just a mess. But luckily, some doctor has the technology to reintegrate them. Or whatever it was. But that scene didn't really have anything to do with the rest of the movie. Someone was just into body horror.
Yeah. Somebody just wanted to do some weird stuff. Yeah. They were like, what if we put them together and just make them kind of can't get apart from each other?
So this was in fact made by Jan. I keep wanting to say Jan. Gloria and Art Clokey.
Okay.
Who are the original creators of Gumby and Davy and Goliath in the 1960s. I think even 50s Gumby started.
Yeah.
I think Gumby started in 1956 or something insane. So Art Clokey is 75 when this movie...
At this point.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So he directed it along with his wife. So they're just this weird fucking married couple who love weird claymation, and that is what they do. His only credits are claymation things.
Yeah, that makes sense. Bad claymation of things that no one's watched.
And the credits are literally just like Davy and Goliath 60 to 67, Gumby Show 56 to 68. There's a Gumby. There's a one-episode Gumby revival in 1988, and then Gumby the movie 1995 because the public demanded it, and the Clokeys came out of retirement.
Who are you to tell them that they aren't in high demand?
Me?
Yeah,
I'm the goddamn Lone Ranger. Is who I am.
So, I hope you enjoyed listening to all 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh, boy. Well, you know what? Here, look. Side A, that's long. Side B, I'm glad we didn't do 20 today.
Fuck. 20 would have been 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah.
If you heard yours, thank you very much for...
Yeah, thank you so much. This was a success beyond our wildest dreams. Well, probably not wildest. If I'm being perfectly honest, I probably had wilder dreams than getting 20 movie requests.
Yes.
For example... Cat Day Afternoon.
Cat Day Afternoon.
That's a wilder dream.
If you didn't hear yours, although you most likely heard at least one of yours.
Yeah. But if you didn't...
Don't forget, the second episode will feature...
Listen right now, because here's what it'll feature.
It'll feature these remaining 10.
Rabbit Proof Fence. Mommy Dearest. MOMMIE. UNI sex. He's Just Not That Into You. The Exorcist 3, My Little Pony, the movie, I love anything that ends in the movie. A Whisker Away, another cat movie. Cats and Dogs, another cat movie. Swamp Ape. And the 2000 Razzie winner, I believe, Battlefield Earth. Oh, pardon me, one more. And There's Something About Mary. And I think that is the other 10.
Have you seen my penis?
So if you've requested something, paid for something, and you didn't hear it today, and you didn't hear it on that list right now, as we said, shut up. But yeah, get at me in some form. Hey, why don't you get at me at Not Scott Henson on Twitter, or get at Drew
At Syrian Softballs.
And again, we thank you much for the money you sent for this, but that shouldn't stop you from still sending money. And if you want to do that, you can go ahead and send that to paypal.me/notscotthenson. NOTSCOTTHENSON.
We hope you appreciated the length of this episode.
I was gonna say, I think we gave...
It's not ruining your fucking day.
I think we gave everyone their money's worth, though. I think everyone's going to be happy with what we devoted to their movie.
That, but
I think a lot of things.
You think a lot of things.
I don't have much else other than the secret letter, and we are fucking winding down on secret letters, folks. We'll have more info on the whole secret message as it comes to a close, because we should probably give a prize or something.
Nah.
Or not. You know what? You Drew, I like your style. Let's not. Anyway, we'll talk about it, but we're winding down. Secret letter today is E. How do you like that? And we'll
enough talking.